This is a show for grown-ups.
And they say bad words.
And they say bad words.
Say final warning.
Final warning.
Hello and
Welcome to the
Fuck! Got rid of him for a reason, Mr. Ray.
I couldn't resist. Sorry.
Staying in, I don't care. Hello and welcome to the Pod of Blunders. I'm your host, Nate Magnuski. And today, with me, I am blessed to have Eric Crumrine, host of the Queer XP.
Hello.
Mr. Ray, host of $2 Creature Feature.
Hello.
And CJ, host of a D&D campaign I was in for a while.
Hey, what's up? I'm back.
And future DM of a Shadow Dark Mega Dungeon.
Yeah,
You may or
see.
may not be seeing.
Yeah, it's kind of up in the air. I've been working on it so hard, though.
Oh, I know we'll
So
play it. I
far.
don't know if we'll get to figure out how to record it right.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's your problem.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. So, CJ, what are we playing today, dude?
Mörk Borg.
Hell yeah. Mörk Borg, which means like something wicked cool and Swedish, or probably, I'm guessing, like dark.
I was going to say we're all playing
Swamp.
Swedish chefs, right?
Of course. Yeah. Very culturally sensitive Swedish chefs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what I rolled up.
I'd be shocked if there's not a class out there for the Swedish chef in this thing.
I
Like a
would
goth
hope
chef.
so. Yeah.
If not,
Somebody
maybe that
make
would just be too gonzo. I was going to write an adventure for this, but that's not really in the Pot of Blunder's spirit because one, I'm lazy. And two, we always try to put a little spotlight on indie creators, you know? Mörk Borg doesn't really need our help. But maybe hexhog.itch.io is needing a little boost, and maybe we can provide that boost, which is why today we're running Cult of the Blood God. So unless you folks have any questions, we'll jump right into it, and we'll get to character introductions and settings and all that stuff.
Sick. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm well.
Although I guess we should talk about what Mörk Borg really is, besides like a sweet name.
Yes, Nate. Tell us more about Mörk Borg. What are we playing?
That's why you're here. So Mörk Borg is the role-playing game that they were worried about in the Satanic Panic. It's completely dark and vile. It's very apocalypse-y, demon worshipy. It's everything that, you know, your pastor warned you about turned up to 11. Think of the darkest fantasy you could think of, and it's worse than that. So the setting itself essentially is there were these creatures called basilisks that are essentially gods of this world. They predict the future occasionally, and they found one of their predictions has been coming true. Everything for the last 300 years has been coming spot on true, which is cool. All the other religions kind of, you know, faded away. This guy became the one true big religion. But the next few prophecies just only talk about the end of the world and how it's inevitable. And 6 hugely terrible things will come to pass, and then it's it. That's it. Done. The 7th thing is darkness reigns. And that's the world we find ourselves in. You know, the world was always a pile of shit. It was always a sad time. This world was never like a shining beacon of hope and joy. And since the end of the world has started, it's gotten markedly worse. Some people turned to religion. Some people turned to hedonism entirely, just pursuits of pleasures of the flesh. And some people just want to make a quick buck and maybe find a way to get some more enjoyment out of this world before it all comes crashing down. And I don't know what you folks are. I don't know what side of the coin you land on, but I do know that you find yourselves currently in a hole. You've been here for 3 days. You were taken by some ruffians on the road, beaten up, stripped of your possessions, thrown into this makeshift dirt oubliette in this podunk town in the middle of nowhere. The guards occasionally come by to poke at you with a long stick, make sure you're not sleeping too long. And there are currently 4.5 of you in this pit.
Half.
Yeah, one's a monkey.
Oh, that's right.
He is a full person. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. I don't think he gets a vote, like, you know. So let's introduce ourselves. Graft, let's start with you.
Hello. I am Graft. I am a horrific mushroom looking thing. I was born of the mushroom, as it says, and my face is rotted and disgusting, and I've been wearing a mask over it for a very long time. So the mask at this point has kind of fused to my face, and now mushrooms and other mossy things have grown out of it. It's like a fucked up chia pet on my face. And I also have a small monkey with me. His name is Monkey. It's basically like a cat. It ignores everything that I say, but it loves me. So, and also Graft uses they, them pronouns.
Okay. And the monkey?
The monkey uses whatever pronouns you want to use because it doesn't answer to any pronouns.
Fair point. What was your crime? What was the thing that they threw you in here for doing, allegedly?
Okay, so here's the deal. I'm innocent, obviously, to start off with. But a new mushroom grew out of my face the other day. And I was like, man, I really wonder what this does. But like, I don't want to like try it out on myself because I can't study myself if I'm tripping balls. So I dropped it in a keg at a local tavern. Turned out it was an aphrodisiac, and the whole place erupted into a mass orgy. And people weren't really excited about that because they went through a lot of resources, a lot of the water, food. It got really there was a lot of damage.
All the sex jelly gone in an instant. That was
exactly.
They needed that for wintertime, Eric.
The end of the world KY is just gone.
All right. Moving on to Karg, Mr. Ray.
Well, hello there. I'm Karg Fonse de Poulat of the noble house de Poulat. You're familiar, I'm sure. And much like my companion, I too am cursed to wear a mask to hide my perfect features. For some ruffian of low birth scratched my face and just destroyed this perfect portrait that nearly a millennia of ideal breeding matches hath wrought. I will be forever locked behind this mask of porcelain prison due to the sins of the uncouth, uncultured, and the unclean.
Excellent. And who's with you there, pal? Who did you bring with you in this oubliette of horror?
Well, hi there. I'm Poltroon. I was a court jester for the Des Poulants.
I immediately regret letting you voice this character.
Hey there, I have a joke for you.
Oh, I bet. Go on.
Why did the wizard bring a wooden ladder to the magic show?
Why?
He aimed to elevate his act.
Oh, weird. The connection just dropped from Mr. Ray. That's so strange. Huh. Wow, what a sad time. Happened last time.
Karg stubbed his toe and died.
Yeah, nasty infection instantaneously. So we have an herbalist, a wicked noble. I think
Yes,
is your
wicked noble, yeah.
Karg. What were you accused of?
I was imprisoned for one of the foulest crimes of all. I am wanted in every hamlet from here to Galgenbach. I am wanted for waylaying. Little did my captors know is that I, in my travels, have become an expert in smuggling, shall we say, pricier items. And I managed to keep away 6 golden buttons from an old waistcoat of my family that bears our family's arms, a serpent gripping a heart. I have only been able to manage to recover only 4.
And where have you kept these on your person? You've been stripped pretty clear at this point.
He kept them in his butthole.
Okay. This is the second recording I've done in a row where I've mentioned the prison wallet. And I don't know what that says about me or this podcast.
It's pretty on brand, honestly.
Yeah,
honestly.
Okay. I guess that's a backdoor promo, no pun intended, for the Street Sharks podcast, available to all patrons. And then we have CJ Theris. What's up with you?
I guess you guys are wearing masks, and looking at my character, I'm sure you wish that I was wearing a mask, but I'm not. So I'm a gutter-born scum,
Mm-hmm.
which I guess in this game is kind of roguish. And my character's name is Theris. He's a big guy with kind of buzz cut hair and a face that only a mother would love. And when he smiles, his teeth are just rotten black and absolutely disgusting. He reeks. He's extremely low birth. And, even as a child, he grew up kicked and beaten beneath a baker's table. That's his background, is just getting kicked at the bakery. So yeah, he's quite the charming fellow, this Theris guy. And Theris, he was arrested for essentially whoring himself. Was he guilty? Not guilty? He was definitely guilty. And from his whoring, he gained a venereal disease. I'm thinking it's syphilis. What a stand-up guy.
I had a venereal disease once too. It was
Yeah.
chlamydia.
Wow. Oh my God.
Clown media.
I've been given too much power.
I was trying to make a syphilis thing, like syllaphus, like silly, but that didn't work out.
Yeah, it's a silly fuss.
Yeah. I don't feel good about anything. So,
Well, my dad had a case of gonorrhea
Because he's
because
gone.
once he was there, then he was gone.
Christ.
I feel like every time we record, I'm like, Nate's never going to invite any of us back. And then here we are.
You're lucky I'm desperate for people. I'm glad you're in this hole. So, for the past, like I said, several days, you've been kind of just starved and left to your own devices, except for occasional proddings by this asshole who keeps coming by. His name is Garst. He's a big.
Did you
hulking
say
man.
he's prodding my asshole, or he's a prodding asshole? Like, it's an important distinction I really need to understand.
So far, just the first one, just prodding, and he's an asshole.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Wait, no, that's the second one. There's been no of that. He's poking you with a stick. Wait, no, that's worse. He's. So have you been passing the time? You've been stuck in this freaking nasty shithole. Outside, it's been quiet. You hear the normal sounds of, the town around you, and now you've been hearing the steady increase of sounds. You start hearing drums and what sounds like merrymaking from above. The guards have been in their guard room nearby, drinking, playing cards, doing that sort of thing, besides coming over to harass you folks. What have you been doing?
How deep is this pit?
It's more like a depression in the ground. It's only like about 6 or 7 feet down. It's a fairly large room that you're in.
Are we in a building or are we outside?
You're in a building. So I'll describe how you came down here so you can get a better picture of it. Sack was thrown over your head. You heard a door creak. You were all thrown down some stairs around the same time. You hear whisperings of something like sacrifice, feast, party, etc. Then you were thrown into this nasty kind of wet mud depression in the earth inside this building. And that's where you've been. There's a cage door in front of you. But beyond that, this is like a 10 by 10 by 6 foot deep shithole of a room.
Is there any kind of window or I'm kind of imagining like this being a large tube-ish kind of structure, and like from the very top we can see like the sky through that.
You cannot see the sky whatsoever. The only light in here is a little bit of guttering torchlight from down the hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
That helps.
So every now and then Garth comes by, or one of the other guards takes a piss into the hole that you guys are in, spits on you, that kind of thing. It's great. It's a good time.
Do they ever come in, throw food or anything, or is it just
No. Nope. There's been no food.
amazing?
And then beyond that, a lot of the talk's just been about doing drugs, which Graf, you would understand. Something called, it's red flower, I think you're talking about, which is a narcotic.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And, it's like super cocaine, pretty much.
It's good stuff.
Or I guess closer to PCP. A little bit goes a long way. Too much of it's not a good thing, you know.
I mean, obviously, like I think I would have started by like getting thrown in, like trying to convince the monkey to go and be useful.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could fit through the bar. Go get the fucking key. But the monkey just like stares at me and like will like dip out and come back with a banana that like it's eating, but like as it comes around the corner, it like finishes the last bite of it and then like scurries back over.
I think the guards know this too, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think whenever that happens, Theris is like, that fucking monkey, get that thing under control.
There's another guard named Holtha that comes by every now and then, every few hours, and say, "Yeah, if you guys are hungry, I'll make you a deal. Give you a bite of bread if you let me break one of your fingers off. You can keep the finger after. I'm not interested in having it. I just want to break it off. And I'll give you bread. I promise. Here's the bread." He holds up a little stale loaf of bread. Mostly mold, but
Theris tries to grab him from down in the pit. He like lunges towards him.
give me a roll. Give me an agility test. I'm at 12.
So reduce that by 2.
Hey, you got a 10.
I got a nat 20 plus 0.
I think you're able to grab him by the shirt, take the bread, and smash him into the doors. I think he's able to push away, but he's definitely like wily and wary of you now. But you have this nasty piece of bread, so you're the one that got to eat in the past few days.
Like, ha ha ha. And he's just like fighting this, and like bits of bread are just like sticking out of his gross fucking teeth.
So the guy stumbles back and he kind of shakes his head. And this was a few days ago now. Since then, he's not come back near you at all. You just hear them talking more about the feast. He's like, "Oh, get that ugly one. Can't wait to cut him up."
Yeah, I bet you do.
They were talking about me. As Karg like just peers off into the darkness, each shrouded by his mask.
What does his mask look like?
It is a perfect representation of idealized, almost androgynously male beauty. I
So
realize
David
those were
Bowie?
something. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, it's as I've said before, it's made out of porcelain though.
So now, present day, the guards have been getting a little wilder, drinking more, having more of the red flour, getting into little arguments here and there. And finally, you hear someone say, "Oh, hold on, calm down. You've had a lot. I'll have a little more if that's okay with you." And you hear, a scuffle break out. And then you say, "Oh no, he's had too much." And then you see Holtha, the guard, running towards your cage door. Right as Garst catches up from behind him, he takes his head and smashes Holtha into the gate over and over and over again until it forms like a red paste and the mist is dripping down. Garst's eyes are totally red. Entirely, he's consumed by whatever's happening. He's screaming. He's chewing his own lips off. Blood is going everywhere. He's laughing and screaming and crying at the same time. He looks into the cage, screams down at you, and he runs off. And you hear the other 2 guards screaming. And you hear a lot of wet, rending, and ripping sounds. More laughing and crying. And those footsteps disappear somewhere beyond your hearing.
That was all a chance. They've gone crazy.
Can I get up to the one that's like smashed into the thing and see if he's got like keys on him?
Absolutely. You get up there. He has the keys around his neck. You're able to pull them off without a problem.
Amazing. I open the door.
You do. And here you are in a shitty hallway.
Mm-hmm.
There's the corpse at your feet, and the hallway kind of turns around a long corner very slowly, slightly uphill, and that's where you can see light coming from.
Do I see anything else, like anybody else, or if they all just ran off?
There's no one right now from where you can see.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like nobody's in the hallway.
Correct.
Do I see my things?
Not yet.
Okay.
Theris kicks that body as he walks by it.
Yeah, a bunch of blood leaks out all the holes as if his insides have just been turned into like a paste. Like he's like a poorly made sack holding together a bunch of mashed raspberries.
Does he have any loot on him? So Theros is going to kind of pat him down once he sees like how poorly he's in.
Roll me D20.
I'm rolling nat 20s.
Jesus Christ, throw that dice away.
I'm throwing the dice away. It's too good.
You find a pouch of 40 silver, some of which are teeth, like silvery, looking like fangs almost, about the size of a nail. But with your gutterborn skills, you know the approximate value of these things are. And there's also 3 or 4 pickled eyeballs in a water skin.
Perfect. My favorite treat.
I think Karg is going to like gracefully step over the corpse without getting his feet dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Dirtier, I should say.
If you want, this man is also armed. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Yeah, what kind of weapon?
he's got a dagger on him, and he's also wearing this really shitty boiled leather armor.
I think Karg looks at the dagger and then like holds it up to the light to get a better view of the metal and says, "Eh," and just tosses the dagger away.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and Poltroon does a cartwheel over the body.
If I see the dagger getting tossed, I would probably grab it.
A falling knife has no handles, Eric. It's very dangerous to grab a knife out of the air.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
That's a life pro tip for home when you're kicking.
Well,
right.
and as I pick it up, what everyone kind of immediately sees is I like look at it for just a second and I slice just a little bit on my arm, and then I kind of do like a nodding like and then go back like I was gonna say put it in something, but I just hold it.
There you go. Anybody want the armor, or y'all have different armor that you want to wear, like that you already have? Because you're gonna have armor that you get back in a second. Spoiler alert.
I don't have. I didn't start with any armor.
Oh.
What kind of armor is it?
It's just like light leather armor.
Light leather.
So it looks like it's kind of hodgepodge together from essentially thick scraps. Like it's layer upon layer of shitty, like belts, pretty much pressed together. But
Okay.
it does the job. It'll give you D2 damage reduction for whenever you're hit.
Okay. If it's
Bloody.
all right with you guys, I'll take this.
I would be
Okay.
mortified if I was caught dead in that armor.
And then Theris just pops one of the pickled eyeballs in his mouth. He's like, "Hey, pretty boy, you want one?"
I think Karg looks away and he says, "Don't mock me, sir." And Poltroon's like, "I'll take one. I really didn't see myself having one of these today."
None for you, I'm sorry.
You're an NPC. Okay. I'm assuming you're going to go to the only room away from here.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're around the corner, you see what looks like a damp cellar that's been hit by a gore tornado. The remains of, you assume, about 2 people here. It's hard to tell, given how small the pieces are that are left of them, are scattered everywhere. There's things dripping off the ceiling, all kinds of just viscera and intestines spread across the floor. Everything's a smear of red. Furniture is scattered. Tables are upturned. There's, on the left-hand side of the room, a staircase leading up, which you assume might be the staircase you were thrown down.
Hmm.
And there's also a big yawning chasm of darkness in front of you. Beyond that, you also notice that there's a big wooden chest.
I'm gonna look at Karg and be like, get your manservant to open that up just in case it's trapped or sentient or something.
Yes, Poltroon, please attend to that. Okay, but you know my deal. You have to listen to a joke.
Raps like takes a step forward with the knife and is like, you tell me one of yours and I'll tell you one of mine. And I just kind of like string it along, like just underneath his neck, like not drawing any blood, but just like indicating like, I don't want to hear your fucking joke. And I will knife you. Go open the chest.
Okay. And he goes to the chest. But why did the young mermaid always carry a treasure map? To navigate her way to the hidden chest. And he opens up the chest.
Is that a joke? Or is this a statement?
I don't get it.
He's been with the family a very long time. He's not always funny.
Why did the mermaid wear seashells for a bra? Because the D shells were too big.
And the B shells are too small.
Graf leans over at Theris and goes, "Listen, if we ever get to a point where we need to eat somebody, that motherfucker is first."
And look, he seems thoughtful. He's like, yeah. So all of your equipment is in here. So go ahead and grab all your shit. You're all got your armor back, your spells, your weapons, everything that you were supposed to have all this time. You have it back. I hate it. I hate when adventures separate fucking characters from their shit. But if you're gonna do it, the way they did it here is the best way. Like,
just give it back to us.
Give it back pretty much immediately. You're on a little bit of rails in the beginning because like, this is what happens. Here's how you get out. You're going. Cool. So anyone else, what do we want to do in this room before we move on? Anything you want to do? Look at, touch, fuck?
Theris like immediately chugs the water skin because he's dying of thirst.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I think Karg will like drink his water skin and eat one of his daily rations.
So you have a little bit of time here just to kind of rest and relax and reset. The sound of merriment is definitely loud here. You can tell that it's night outside.
Maybe it's time we go join the fun. Hey, boys.
The Graf just kind of like as they finish, and you notice like their rations in there, like when they drink from the water skin, like it goes, the mask is almost acting like a filter and like going through it. And then it's just like the rations are almost like mush and they just like shove it into where their mouth hole is and just like push it through this fabric mask that they've got on.
So you
don't
really
knows
sexy.
how to eat.
Ugh.
They don't know how to eat.
Graf just kind of like wipes off like the bits of food that are stuck to their like fabric mask and like, I'm fine. What's wrong with you?
Meanwhile, we're in like a room with like a bottomless pit and gore everywhere. I don't think Theris really cares about the gore.
The black hole, I'm sorry, is in the wall. It's not a pit.
Oh, it's in a wall.
Yes, this is an exit somewhere else, deeper into this place. So you have the hallway that behind you where you came from with that pit. You have a hole in the wall that leads somewhere else. You see bloody footprints leading down that way. And then you have the staircase going up to the sound of a large party.
I think Theris is going to wander over to the hole in the wall then. Just casually walking over.
It's pitch black in there. It's a kind of a carved earthen tunnel. It's leading slowly down. And you can see it's, with your good eyes, I'm assuming like you've spent so much time in the darkness and shadows on the street, in alleys, in basements and cellars that you're pretty keen in the eye at this point. You can see that there's a chamber beyond. There's some kind of room back there, but beyond that, it's hard to tell what is going on. You might make out a face of some sort in there, like a huge face, but it's not moving. That's all you can tell without entering into that room.
Would more light help that observation?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cast one of my sacred scrolls. I want to cast False Dawn, which gives light for 3d10 minutes.
So explain how it works. Like, what does it look like when you cast this light? Is it like coming out of your mouth, hands? Are you like, is it a miniature sun actually?
Yeah, I like the idea of it like being like a fake sun that gets released from the scroll.
That's cool. So you read out your scroll, and then out appears a fully formed orb of impossibly bright light that you float down the hallway?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's good for 19 minutes.
Horrifyingly long.
Yeah.
So this very bright light floats down this long earthen hallway, and it ends up in this tight chamber with brick walls, black brick walls. And you can see the face that you kind of saw earlier is a horrifyingly crudely carved skull peering out from the wall with an open mouth. The mouth appears to be some sort of tunnel or a ramp. It's one of the two exits in this room. There's another exit to the left.
I wonder if it has a boner.
Boo. There you go. Also of interest is you hear a screaming voice get louder and louder and louder until your old pal Garth bursts into the room screaming, charging at you with hands that are beaten to a pulp.
That was the dead guy, right?
No, Hultha
No.
was the dead guy. Garst was the guy that killed the dead guy.
Oh, gotcha.
He's screaming and he looks insane again. Eyes all red, crying tears of blood, hands all meat.
Just do I want to see. And Theris takes out his mace and he goes into, beat this shitter down.
All right, let's roll initiative, which is one of you rolls a d6 and then 4, 5, 6. You guys go first. 1, 2, 3. They go first.
All right, I can roll.
Okay.
You guys go first, which is good.
Oh, we go first.
Yeah.
Hooray. Okay. Does it matter which one of us goes first?
No.
Or we choose?
I think it's more fun to do it narratively. So you said you had the action there. So let's have it start with you, CJ.
So I'm going to run in and try and smack him down with my mace. Is it a D20 roll plus strength?
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay.
Mhm.
So
Plus
I rolled
2.
a 12 plus 2 is a 14.
Plus
That
2.
hits.
Oh, plus 2?
Yeah, because
Poltroon.
yeah,
Oh,
and
Paltroon.
if you need a crack, Poltroon's like, well, it seems this fellow's been disarmed.
Shut up, you shitty clown.
That definitely hits. Absolutely hits. So
All
now you
right.
may do your damage to.
So
Poor
a
Garst.
club is a D6, and I rolled a 5.
All right. Ouch.
Crack him over the head, or at least try to.
I mean, I think you fucking succeed there. So you smash him in the head. Absolutely. You cave in part of his skull. You take his ear clean off. He stumbles. You hear his breathing become more labored. And you notice now he's covered in some kind of small black ropey things that are hanging off any exposed skin that he has. When you smash them, some of them fall off and they're kind of writhing on the ground. But yeah, he's not feeling too hot. So Mr. Ray and Poltroon are next.
All right. I think
Karg. Sorry.
Karg pulls out his whip and will crack that whip.
Licorice whip. All right.
So is that strength or, agility or presence? Or...
It should be strength, but I feel like you can make a case for it being agility.
Yeah, I think agility is a much better call in that one.
It's more of a finesse
you're-
weapon, right?
Yeah, right. And you're so smart to go with that.
Yeah, I thought
Like-
so. I feel smart. Thank you for
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, you didn't say how handsome I am, but I get it.
It was implied.
Oh,
The
okay.
implication was there.
All right. Because of the implication.
Exactly. That's 19 on the dice plus 3.
Christ. Yeah. It's what do you do with your
Karg-
whip? Does it have damage to it?
D2.
Okay.
I think Karg cracks the whip and says, "Die, peasant, die!" and does 1 damage.
Were you aiming for anything in particular when you were trying to strike at him? Or was there anything you wanted to achieve besides just hurting him?
I think I was aiming for his neck.
You have it. And I like to say that he's essentially not grappled, but he's strangled right now. It's wrapped around his neck, if you'd like that to be the case.
Yeah, I like that. That sounds good.
Yeah. You have him fairly under control. He's very strong, though. He's starting to pull you.
Yeah, no, I am not good at strength things, so he is probably pulling me well.
So, Graft, you see your newfound friend Karg here being dragged towards this insane person. I like the image of Garth grabbing the whip and pulling you bodily towards him by hand over hand on the whip itself.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure because I thought he lost his hands.
He's good. Oh yeah, that's true. He has meaty, gross, beat up things. But yeah, sure. He's not doing that then, but he wants
Although
to.
I like the body horror of these 2 arm bones, just now being pincers that he's grabbing with.
Oh yeah, just kind of twisting them up into his arms,
Yeah,
winding an electrical cord with his meat stubs.
yeah,
Yeah, that feels more Borgy. Let's go with that.
yeah.
Meat stubs.
Oh wait, this is bad for me. No.
Yeah.
Well, I think as that's happening, I just casually kind of walk widely around to get up behind him, take this newfound dagger that I've got, and just puncture a kidney.
Yeah, that would do it.
Let's see how we do on the roll. That's a 19 plus 0 because I'm assuming it's strength. So
+2 from Poltroon.
yeah, Poltroon, thanks for doing the.
He just got
Nothing.
his dick out and he's masturbating furiously. That's
I like to see you stick it to him.
Oh no.
And I'm assuming a dagger is D4 damage.
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. One point of damage.
Upsettingly, Garst is still alive, and now it's his turn. So I'm sorry for that. Mr. Ray,
Yeah.
you're going to get mooshed, I think, my friend. All right, so Mr. Meat Stubs is dragging you over.
Mr.
And,
Meat Stubs.
Mr. Meat Stubs, roll me an agility check.
That is another 19 plus 3 plus 2 for 24.
So he briefly drops the whip. He thinks he has you in arm's reach at this point. He lunges towards you, but all he really manages to do is make a big red smear down the front of your shirt. You feel the bits of meat giving way as they scrape along your chest.
You son of a bitch. Foul cur.
Sadly, that's all he can do. It's a real bummer for him. All right, back to the top of the order. Theris.
All right. Theris is going to just try and finish him off while he's distracted by Karg. That is a 12 plus 2. Do I still add Paltroon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 2 rounds.
Okay, so that's 16 total.
Oh, absolutely.
Going to hit for 6 damage.
Oh, yeah. Describe how you kill Garst.
I just smack him straight down on top of his head, just caving it in completely, finishing what I first started.
You absolutely do. It's like a meat pinata. His brain explodes, with bits of pink gray matter flying everywhere. And as he sinks to his knees and falls forward, you hear the gurgling rising up from his neck, what's left of it after you've crushed everything else down. It looks like he's still trying to drag himself forward to attack you. And finally, after a couple violent shudders of his body, he lies still. And you see way more blood come out of him than should ever be in a person. Like it's almost like a pressure washer of blood. And it quickly makes and all the black things on him drop off and are writhing on the ground.
There's just stomps on one of those black things.
Yep, it's a leech. Big fucking leeches, at least dozens of them. So, you've solved my Garst puzzle, guys. Good job.
Hooray.
So,
Now,
I'm assuming... Oh, go ahead. What's up?
Well, I guess first, obviously, I want to look over this corpse and see if there's anything of value.
There is. There's a hammer, like a little, not a war hammer, but like a fairly sizable fighty type hammer on his belt loop he didn't use, and it's got "World's Best Dad" carved into the handle.
Yes.
More like "World's Best Dead."
Yeah.
Hey, pal, leave the jokes to the professionals.
As I look over at Theris, I'm like, are you taking lessons now? What are you doing?
You caught the clown. It's an STD.
Oh no, you have chlamydia.
Good.
What was that, CJ?
Oh, Theris just says, "I thought it was pretty good." How does this hammer compare to like a mace? Does it look like better?
It's a D4. It's pretty shit.
Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
It's like a repurposed like whitesmith's hammer. Like it's meant for using doing detail work on tin. It's not meant for like heavy stuff. But he's an idiot, and he used it from that.
Actually,
Was there anything else on the body,
Yeah,
or just the hammer and leeches?
there's some little bone vials on him. There's 3 or 4 that are full of red powder.
Would I, as an occultist herbalist?
Yep, they are dried blood flower, which is that ye olde PCP, which is probably, yeah. Give me a. No, just because your background's an herbalist, I think you would know this stuff. I'm not going to make you roll for anything. A little bit of this makes you want to have a fucking really good time, And it depends how it's ingested too. Too much of it makes you into a crazy fucking bloodlust berserker warrior. It's not a party drug. It's not supposed to be for that. People use it like that, but even just a hair over, bad things happen. So let me give you a little history on blood flowers, since you would know this. All right.
Mhm.
If you eat one, it has a healing property, just the flower itself.
Okay.
If you eat a bunch of them, you puke up all your blood.
Mm.
No
I
good.
don't want to do that.
If you snort a little bit, you get stronger, magical PCP style. If you snort too much, you basically get crazy strong, absolutely no presence at all, and you are well on your way to dying, essentially.
Hmm.
If you OD on it, you become the crimson avatar of the flesh.
Oh, of course.
Let's see. As your soul tastes the idea of rage itself, destroy all in sight. Your flesh is laid bare as you turn inside out 2d6 rounds after consumption.
Wow.
Love
And
that
you
for
can-
everybody.
And you can also make it into a tea. A sip of the tea, everyone's circulatory system becomes visible to you as a pulsing red stream. So you get +1 to attacks against the living. And then if you drink a cup of it, bad things happen. Super bad things happen. You thought the flesh thing was bad? A cup of it is way worse and different.
I love that.
Yeah. And you would know
Yeah.
this as an herbalist. This place seems to have a way to get blood flower, which is pretty wild.
I'm definitely going to pocket those
Yeah.
vials, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, question about the gaping hole in the wall.
Yes.
How, like we said, we saw something kind of in the distance.
Mm-hmm.
How far was that distance?
So you're not entering this room yet? You're just looking into it, correct?
No, I'm just looking.
Okay. So now that you have more light, you're not being attacked, you have time to take it in a little bit.
Mhm.
This room is maybe 15 by 15. The skull is on the far wall.
Mhm.
It looks like somebody with absolutely no skill whatsoever and the crudest of tools carved it out of the rock itself. It's got a mouth that's open about 3 feet in diameter, and it goes down like a slide into God knows what.
Okay.
Also in this room is like a 7-foot diameter pool, shallow pool, writhing with leeches and semi-congealed jello-like blood.
Hmm.
And that's where your boy got his diseases there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And to the left is another hallway kind of arcing around and down. That's what you can see from where you are.
It's quite amusing whenever the bourgeoisie try to be artist. I mean, look at that crude thing. Couldn't even tell it was a skull unless someone told you.
So we should just go up the stairs and get the fuck out, right? Like I don't want to go in a room full of leeches with drug blood. And at least one of you looks like you have a venereal disease, and I don't think you want more.
Ferris is like definitely willing to go up the stairs and just check it out, like kind of creep up there. He's a sneaky little, big guy.
Yeah,
So could I go up and kind of creep up
absolutely.
the hubbub's about?
Yeah, as you walk up, it looks more like the roof of the room you were in is the floor of something else. But it seems like maybe the building on top has collapsed a while ago, and this is just the only thing that left in here is the basement and whatever it attaches to. The door is locked, but there's a shutter on the front of it, like a little peephole, like who goes there kind of shit. So you kind of look out and you see 70, 80 people out there in a massive bonfire and several smaller fires around. There's some kind of horrible piping music and heavy drums. Everyone's wearing these faceless red masks. There seems to be drinking things out of cauldrons. There's dancing. There's nudity. There's it seems like a big old cult activity thing going on out here. And you see in the glorious orange firelight them setting up some gallows with 3 nooses.
3. Okay.
Obviously,
there-
I was gonna live. They weren't gonna eat me.
Yeah, Pultroon's not a real person. They don't hang.
I'm an NPC.
I won't get hanged. I have plot armor.
All right, Theris is going to go back down and kind of relay what he saw to these people.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are in the center of this activity from a little bit of angles you could see.
Mm-hmm.
So we do have to go into the room with the leeches, is what you're telling me?
Oi, but I have an idea.
Oh,
All right,
this should be good.
So Nate stepped away. But what I'm thinking is we could throw those corpses into the leech pool, and maybe the leeches will latch onto the bodies, and we can like make it through unscathed.
Oh yeah, my plan was definitely throw this dude into the leeches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not me, but I was going to encourage somebody to throw the dude into the leeches.
Yeah.
Yes, we have
well,
people for that.
While Nate's not here, I'll read the rest of my description is born of the mushroom, raised in the glade, watched by the eye of the moon in the silver black pool, lazy and cruel, rotting face, wearing mask, won't use a blade without testing it on your own flesh, arms knitted with scars.
That's really good. Mine is bowed down only by the memories of your own lost glory. You could never submit to anyone else, not you of noble blood. Not that you expect any of those peons to understand the depth of your sorrow. Inferiority complex and suspicious. Rotting fat face wearing a mask, which I reflavored so it was a little bit different. Stress response is aesthetic display. The worst things get the fancier you need to be. The worst things get the fancier you need to be.
I guess I'll say mine too. So, an ill star smiled upon your birth. Poverty, crime, and bad parenting didn't help either. In your community, an honest day's work was never an option. Not that you ever tried. What are you, some kind of mug? A razor blade and a moonless night are worth a week of chump work. I would say I think I like Eric's character's backstory the best.
I do too, yeah.
It's definitely like the most poetic. But also just like reading this shit, it really is like making me feel crazy. This is some wild like stuff.
It's just edgelord garbage, but I love it because it's tastefully done edgelord garbage, or artfully done anyway, not tastefully, but
yeah, a little bit of difference there.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what are we doing, folks? You gonna go into the atrium with a cool blood pool and the big old skull face?
So while you were gone, we've already cleared all the rooms. We've made it to the basement,
exactly, yeah.
And obviously we defeated the whatever's down there.
We defeated the blood god, and
good.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. For the pot of blunders, I've been Nate Magnuski. Thank you for.
We had talked about how Karg and Theris are going to carry the bodies of the two corpses and throw them into the leech pool.
Well, you're half right about that.
Theris and the Jester Man are going to throw the bodies.
Yeah, Poltroon.
He has a name. It's Poltroon. I've been with your family for 30 years.
It's like Graft literally doesn't care about anyone's name.
All right, so you take these corpses, you throw them into the leech pool. The leeches don't seem to care. The blood's not pumping. Yeah.
Well,
that's cool. Yeah. So the skull, mouth covered in moss and gore. It looks like there's an obvious wear pattern in it. There's something has been thrown down here fairly recently. And then there's also the path around to the left.
I'd say we just go down to the left then.
Another earthen tunnel.
If I look at the moss, can I tell anything about like what's growing on this thing?
Yeah. It's odd. It's not green because there's no light down here to photosynthesize, so it's growing with something. It's like black.
I don't like that.
But beyond that, hard to tell much of anything down here. It's not good, not wholesome. Wouldn't eat it. So you're walking down this next hall here. What's the marching order, please?
Theris will go first.
Okay.
I'll go
So-
second.
Okay.
And then before Karg will be Poltroon, and then it'll be Karg.
And where's the monkey?
On my shoulder.
Excellent. Love it. So the brick room that you were in gives way to a more natural cavern. The ceiling, you see stalactites starting to form and getting quite long. And then you enter into this, it looks like a natural cave. And the stalactites kind of, they're so sharp here, they kind of force you to stoop your neck a little bit as you enter in here. A few dead, stunted trees grow here. Black bark, redwood underneath. And they've been carved with inhuman faces and scenes of slaughter. The ground is covered with a frigid, dense mist, which swirls in an unfelt wind. And in front of you, in the largest tree here, there's a figure tied to the tree, surrounded by a lush growth of blood-red flowers.
Does the figure appear living, or can we tell?
The figure appears to be some sort of mummy. It looks covered in like a yellow bandage, and that's what's kind of securing it to this tree as well. And it's been stabbed several times by swords and daggers and various other stabbing implements. You see some protruding from its neck, arms, belly, legs. Seems to be no rhyme or reason to how it's been stabbed. It's just been stabbed a whole bunch.
How is it secured on there?
The stabbing implements definitely help. And then beyond that, it's the linens that are tying it up as a mummy and also tying it to this tree.
Oh, okay.
But
Can we see its face?
yeah, you can see its head. You can't see its face. It's covered by the linens.
Okay.
Its mouth is open in a rictus grin. The jaw looks like it's unhinged, yellowing teeth poking through. It looks like they describe it as a nightmare hedgehog here, which I love, given all the things stabbing out of it.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
Right? Isn't that good?
That paints a different picture than what I was imagining. I like that better.
Yeah. And yeah, beyond that, a whole bunch of little red flowers and some other stuff.
I think Theris is going to creep slowly, keeping his distance away from this mummified thing, try and going around it.
Sure.
Is there like a tunnel beyond it?
There's another tunnel leading further down. It looks to be on the same level roughly. There's not really like a grade here, but it's just curves. Everything curves here. There's no straight lines in this dungeon, which is odd. It doesn't seem to make sense that you wouldn't be circling back on yourself after a while.
I mean, I guess we gotta go down the path. 'Cause-
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I was going to suggest is, lighting up the room if you all would want, but if you don't think we need it, I'm not going to do it.
I mean, light up the room. Like,
I have 5 more uses of a scroll that just lets me light up a room or turn it pitch black.
oh, you mean illuminate versus? I thought you meant like just set shit on fire, and I was like, I mean, there's
Oh,
red
no.
flowers everywhere, and I don't know. We didn't cover the inhalant portion of red flowers.
Well,
But
red
that-
flowers, they can restore health, right? Maybe it'd be worth it to pick a few.
From what I've heard,
I hold up some vials, and I'm like, I'm kind of covered with.
from what I heard from the herbalist Shrek, is that the red flowers with blue thorns are the very helpful ones. That one's for the kids.
Don't have your kids listen to this.
God, I hope not.
So you're
Well,
sneaking on the side, and are you
yeah.
gathering flowers or no?
I don't think Theris would really know about the flowers, so he would just keep continuing on.
Okay. So there's just another hallway beyond here. There's nothing else really too exciting in this room except all the weird carvings on the stalactites.
Mhm.
They show you normal scenes of slaughter and sacrifice. Nothing too like, wow. The only one of note is that there is a large thing. You can't tell. It looks like it's the way it's carved and it's crude again, so it's hard to really make sense of it. It looks like it's wearing a robe, or maybe it's a waterfall with arms and a head. It's really difficult to say what it is. and people are like are dancing underneath it as the drops fall down on them.
Is there a like an intelligence roll we could make to kind of decipher that better?
There's presence, which is the closest thing to it.
Okay. Can I go ahead and make a presence check just to see if I get a better idea?
Yeah, sure.
How does a 9 strike you?
It's definitely maybe a robe or some kind of waterfall. A 9 would just be like, you get the sense that this is some kind of record of the blood cult that used to live here.
Oh.
Some kind of cult activities going on. And
Scribblings of the worthless peons.
Given all the blood stuff so far, it's probably a blood cult. It's a reasonable assumption to make.
Yeah, we creep forward.
Ever forward. So the natural cavern gives way again to a weird hewn cavern. It looks like it's been worked from stone. It's not a natural thing any longer. The floor looks like it's made of field stones that have been carved and arranged, and on them is many layers of dried blood. Like you ever see like an old paint factory where you have different layers of paint? You can kind of see how each layer builds on each other, and then eventually you get like a stack of it where it's a thicker spot there. It's like that, but with dried blood here, for probably hundreds, if not thousands, of years worth of layers of dried blood. There's a jumble of human body parts in various states of decay, piled on a slab of stone across from 3 small prison cells here. There's an arched stone doorway covered by a veil stitched from entire human skins to the north. A ramp breathes void, cold air from a deeper recess of the dungeon, and there's a smell of animal panic.
Smell of animal panic.
Yep.
What's that?
Like panic that you smell from animals.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm also thinking there's like notes of citrus and vanilla, just lightly.
Sandalwood.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got a room with an altar with a bunch of body parts stacked up on it, and 3 tiny prison cells in here.
Kind of get the feeling that the party above us was just kind of the natural evolution of this, and we were going to be those 3 in the prison cells.
Yeah, probably.
CJ, roll me a d6.
3.
You hear, hey, you one of them? You don't look like one of them.
Yeah, we're one of them, boy.
It's actually a very husky woman's voice.
Oh, sorry, man.
Never mind, I'm not one of them. Turns out.
Mistook you for a man.
It's okay, it's dark in here. I forgive you.
No, we aren't with them.
It's a filthy looking woman. She looks like she had armor on at one time. Like you can tell the straps and scraps of armor that would, be left around once everything was cut away.
The places where the armor was, it's completely clean, and then
yeah, actually, kind of like that.
Dirty.
Very much.
That's where the armor used to be.
She says, "You have to get me out of here. These people are insane. They don't understand the glories of war. They just fight to kill and die and bleed, and they're fucking sick. They're sick."
It don't make much difference to me, man. We're just trying to get out of here. You know the way?
No, I don't. All I know is that I'm next to fight in the pit.
Pit.
Further down is... Oh, God. Get me out of here. I can help.
Can I size up this woman?
Sure.
Presence. How should I do so? Presence?
Yep.
Okay. Nat 1.
This is a person in a cell. Of that, you're reasonably sure, but it could be a hologram. You're not sure what a hologram is, but it could be one of those. Man, it's feast or famine with you. It's 20s or 1s, huh?
I know. This is crazy.
She looks filthy. She looks like she's covered in gore and grime. There's a waste bucket here. She looks hungry, and her eyes look insane. like from desperation. She shrinks from whatever light source you have.
Allow me to rest assured any worries you have. Why did the young wizard break up with his wand?
What?
Because he was afraid of commitment. You
see Graft like pull out one of these red vials full of the drugs, almost like they're gonna offer it to that, and then like, no, not yet. I can't make the clown OD just yet. Well, and Graft looks at Theris and Karg and is like, I mean, one more set of hands is probably not the worst thing if we're going down into all this nonsense. We can let her lead the way. Like, we can put her in the front.
I love this idea. This is a spectacular idea. This is the best idea you've ever had.
Okay, like, let's calm down.
And I'm
Step
so
one.
glad I told it to you.
And step two, like, is there a lock on the cage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
If I still have the keys from the dude before, or whoever has those keys, do we have a key that can open it?
your key doesn't open this door. It's a different key you do not have. She's like, come on, get me out of here, please.
If only we had a hammer.
Theris.
Oh, well, I have a mace.
But you also have the hammer from the world's best dad hammer.
Oi, shrew me. Can I have your dagger for just a second?
Because I want to use it as like a spike and try and hit it off.
I'm like, that's fine. I have a femur in my bag if I need to hit something.
Good.
It's going to
And
be a difficult attempt. You have to hit a 14.
okay, 14. So if I spend an omen, how much does that decrease the DC?
By 4.
Let's do that. I'm going to spend my omen. Mechanics. And that's an 8 plus 2 if strength, so that's 10.
You met the DC. That's perfect. So amazingly, impossibly, this thing, tink! Your background as a street urchin has paid off once again. And this creaky door creaks open doorly.
Oi, love. What's your name?
Give me a fucking weapon.
Hey, let's not get too quick about it.
And she stands up and you can see that she's unsteady. She kind of wobbles and supports herself on the wall, shakes her head, and pushes past you to go over to where all the body parts are. Because there's a cleaver sticking up out of that pile.
What are you going to do with that, love?
These people, she grabs it, she hefts it in her hand, she goes, these people need killing. That's all they are good for. That's all they understand. That's the only gift that they deserve getting at this point. I will send them to meet their blood god. You can see the fire is in her eyes again now that she has a weapon in her hand.
Does she look like if we were quantifying her health by a number, would we say it's lower than what she could be at maximum? Like, she looks busted up, right? Like, she looks like she could use some healing.
She's pretty fucked up, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over and be like, here, and I'm gonna like pull like a small mushroom off of one part of my face, a little bit of moss, kind of mush it together into a little vial. It turns into like a murky, like greenish black looking juice. And I'd be like, drink that, it'll help.
So she kind of reaches out with a shaky hand. She's like, what? Why? What is this?
It'll make you feel better.
She kind of looks at it and she looks up like down the tunnel and she's like, well, okay. And she downs it. And she
So it heals D6 HP and stops any infections that she might be getting. It can be habit forming though. So she might develop an addiction. She might turn into like a white woman who's addicted to like, organic, whole foody, like natural
kombucha.
Remedies.
I was going to say this is kombucha. Same mind, Mr. Ray. She like puts her pinky digs it into the bottom of the vial, kind of rubs it on her gums. She's like, yeah. Feels so holistically charged.
My chakras are suddenly aligned.
So she offers a hand to you there, Graf. She says, pain.
And I'm like, graft, and shake her hand.
And she does a cool forearm grab handshake thing.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, may your dagger find the hearts of your enemies.
Like, it usually does. Or my arms, but that's a different story.
Well, last time you hit him in the kidney.
Yeah, it helped. I couldn't get to the heart.
She goes around and introduces herself to all of you, shakes your hands. Thanks, Theris, for releasing her. And she kind of eyeballs the noble.
Yeah,
She's like,
I think Karg won't shake her hand. He'll just give her a polite nod, but that's about as friendly as it is. Meanwhile, Poltroon is like, if you're gonna let them meet their blood god, it should be a rare occasion.
I look at Payne and I'm like, listen, if you want to start by knifing that dude,
Everybody's a critic.
She stares at Poltroon for a bit. And she's like, meat. I like that. She slaps Poltroon on the back way too hard. She's like, well, monkey.
I think we're about to meet Mrs. Poltroon number 3.
Poltroon has like multiple wives.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Not that he's been divorced. He's just...
He's a bigamist.
well, I mean, when the world's going to end, like, who's keeping track of anything?
Daddy gets around. It's not just about the sex. It's about the passion, too.
That's nice. I love that for Poltroon.
I hate that I said daddy in that voice.
Well, you did it. And we all can't avoid it. So good news. There's still 2 other cells here. Cell 2, the bars are bent open. Illegible markings and loose bricks on the right wall. It looks like the mortar's been worn away here. And the floor is strewn with a large number of human teeth, presumably removed with a pair of large black iron tongs that are nearby. Not tongues, that'd be wild. And in the 3rd cell, it's a locked cell. Sand floor. Not much to see in this one.
I look at Payne and I'm like, what happened in that second one?
See, that cell's never been used since I've been here. I've been here for God knows how long. I've fallen asleep a bunch of times, but I don't know how long it's been. But the middle one's never been used. The 3rd cell was used, but that poor sucker was taken out of here days ago, I would assume. I don't know what's wrong with the second one.
Let's just, ignorance is bliss sometimes, right? Like, I'm going to pretend like I didn't see it, honestly.
She goes over and grabs the tongs and ties it to her waist with a strip of cloth she finds. She's got the cleaver and the tongs now. She's ready for action. So, all that's here now is another tunnel leading yonder. Who knows where? I knows where, and so does Payne. That's where they take the people they compel out of the cells.
So I guess we're heading that way.
It's some kind of arena or something of that sort.
I believe so. No one's ever come back from there, what I've seen. Except for the fucks upstairs, those guards.
Yeah, well, good thing they will be coming back around.
Truly, part of me wants to tell Payne, if you go up to that top door, that there's 80 of them out there just engaging in ritualistic murder, and just let her loose. We come back at the end of the adventure. She's just covered in blood. It's like, I killed all of them.
She's going to eat a whole bush of those fucking flowers and be like, I am your god now. I can smell your blood.
Ooh, did it suddenly get hot in here?
Nah.
I guess we push forward.
We have fun. All right. Another curved hallway. Again, the layout does not make sense. One would easily become nauseous walking around here after a while because of the twists and turns, and your eyes can never find a spot more than 30 feet away from you at any one time. It's constantly circling in on itself. It makes no geometric sense. But you get the vague sense you keep going down. You eventually arrive in a circular chamber, and it reeks of old violence. Statues line the walls, half men, holding bowls and slitting their own throats. From the wetly shining branches of a tree, bursting through the floor near the left wall, dangle bulbous, fleshy fruits the size of fat pigs, ready to drop into a shallow pit in the center of the room. So the pit itself, it's a shallow crater about 10 meters in diameter, or like 35 feet in America units, surrounded by runes. There's a black iron morning star in the center of this pit. And in the ceiling of this room, you see what looks like where a chute would dump people out. Into the center of this old pit here.
Mm-hmm.
Does that kind of line up with like the slide that we saw from the leeches? It's kind of difficult with this.
Yep. Yeah, as far as you can tell, that makes sense. Okay. And then in the middle of this big old hole, there's a fist-sized borehole going somewhere, God knows where. Anybody
Are there any other exits?
Let's see. Not that you can tell.
Well, I'm interested in that big black morning star. It's in the center of the pit.
Mm-hmm.
You should definitely steal that.
Is there any way to like note the runes and if there's any like if they are things we should be wary of?
Yeah, people can try to study the runes. That'd be great.
Yeah, I would like to do that, even though I don't really have presence, but I would like to do that.
Yeah, go for it. Study them runes. Roll them beautiful boom footage.
I'm going to spend my omen on this because this feels important. I don't want someone walking it through runes that... so I'm going to drop the difficulty of whatever the rating was.
Cool.
Fucking, I rolled a nat 20.
You fucking got it. You know these runes. Come on, you know runes. You can read. You know
they're
runes.
drawn literally on my back. I've got a whole set of them.
They say kill to be blessed over and over and over again.
I was going to go with live, laugh, love.
Kind of that vibe.
Are they magical in any way, or are they just like a language?
Just a language.
Okay. My concern is more so that like if we stepped into the pit, like we'd be trapped inside of it by like magical runes.
No, you do feel a very strong pull from the morning stars looking for magic, but not necessarily from the runes.
I think Theris is just gonna. He's looking around, seeing if there's anyone else in here, and if not, he's just gonna slowly creep towards that morning star. He feels the draw to it.
Alrighty.
I kind of shout at Theris. I'm like, just the morning star seems to have some magic to it, which is neither good nor bad, but just, you know, given everything we've seen, people bleeding from orifices, etc. I don't know, like maybe kick it first before you pick it up. I don't know.
Oh, I feel the magic. Feels powerful.
And he's just going to slowly creep up. And does anything happen? Or does he get like right up next to it?
As you get up to it, you hear creaking from the fruit.
Oh, creaking from the fruit. And this is like a huge fucking fruit, right? These are
it's the size of a pig. And the tree itself, it's not growing from the ground here. It's growing from something beyond this ground. Like you kind of like you're almost on like a cliff edge in the room, and there's a drop down where the tree is actually growing from somewhere down below.
I have a feeling like if I grab this morning star, some beast is gonna pop out of that fruit. And you know, fuck it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to grab the morning star.
Cool. The morning star is heavy. It looks very expertly made. Does D6 plus 1 damage. So it's definitely a masterwork weapon.
Okay.
And as you lift it, as you heft it, you feel the urge to kill. You can't wait for the ability to use this. Now, you're not driven mad by it. It's not like you have a lust, you have to kill somebody right now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't wait. You kind of get a little hard about it, honestly. You're like, yeah, well, I want this more than I want anything. Like you thought you were hungry before. That wasn't hunger. that was a placeholder feeling for the hunger you have now. And the only thing that will satisfy it is murder. And as luck would have it, you don't have to wait long because roll me a d4.
That's a 4.
4 of these fruit fall down, splat on the ground, and out from them arises, or struggles to rise, these horrible, semi-human, ape sort of looking gore creatures. It's as if someone turned a monkey inside out, or like a baboon, slightly bigger, and their eyes are still sealed shut like a baby kitten. If they do have fur, it's slicked down with a black ichor.
Well, I mean, I feel the urge.
Yeah, you know what? Let's all roll initiative.
All right, so we're rolling a collective d6 for us.
Yeah, let's.
All right, I'll roll it.
Oh, there we go.
A 5.
Yeah, you guys started out for
Yay.
real this time.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so let's do. I'm gonna have CJ do first again because he's the one in the middle of the pit. But let's have y'all give me your rolls as well.
Oh, right. See who goes next.
Yeah, so it's just an agility modifier plus a d6.
Karg, you're going next.
I was going to say I got an 8.
Okay.
You.
No.
I rolled a 1.
Oof.
I'm pretty agile.
Can someone give me a d6 roll for me?
Yeah.
Just for rando for pain.
That's
2.
a 6.
Oh. Use his.
Use his.
I heard it too. We're gonna have to use that one. All right. So first up, Theris. These things are struggling to get out of their meat cocoons.
I'm gonna finish one before it even gets out, or at least try to.
Hell yeah.
That's a 16. Is it +2 strength, +2 again for Peltfrune?
No, yeah,
So
it
a
hits
20.
anyway. A 16 is enough to hit these things.
Boom. With a +1 morning star up. That's 6 damage. Kapow.
Tell me how you kill this thing. It's dead.
Again, just from above, and it just splats into gore.
Yeah. It's a very wet feeling. It feels like if it has bones, they're not like our bones. It's more like the texture of a cucumber. Like it's rigid,
Satisfying.
but very easy to break.
Ah.
Oh, like bird bones.
But not that crisp. More like a wet giving.
Not a wet giving.
You know? You get it. Yeah.
Well,
That sounds like a really bad porno.
This thing is down and is trying to drag itself around in this broken body. But Karg, what are you doing there, pal?
I think I want to go in and stab one of these that are struggling, get out of their cocoon.
Yeah.
And I want to stab it with my family's knife, the snakeskin gift.
Ooh, yeah, do that.
All right. Is this strength or agility?
We'll do agility again.
Cool. Because you're such a great GM. That is a 16 +3 +2.
Yeah, that thing gets hit by a dagger. Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm going to roll a d4. And for those of you at home, the snakeskin dagger only does 4 damage, like a d4 of damage. But if it hits a 1, it's an auto kill.
Yeah, he rolled a fucking Vorpal.
Like now, whenever it's a 1.
So describe how this kills. Like you come up from behind it, it's trying to struggle out. You stab it into this thing. How does it look like when the killing effect takes hold of this? Like what does it do?
I think it's not even like a stabbing. I think it's a slash.
Okay.
And whenever it slices, where it cuts, you see spiderweb veins just spreading out from the wound, and it spreads quickly across the creature. And if it has eyes, they sink back into its skull, and it stops breathing within seconds.
Absolutely. Yeah, it has a couple thrashing spasms and then lies still and liquefies. Gross. All right, Eric.
Wait, doesn't pain go before me?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, because you got a 1.
Because I literally rolled a one.
The
So
worst. All right, roll for her. Just do a d20 for me.
okay. And actually, for the record, I rolled a 0 because I have a -1 to agility. So
Nice.
she rolled a 4.
She's overcome with a bloodlust. She runs forward to kick this thing. She kicks one of the already dead things, not understanding that it's actually fully dead. She is just lost in the sauce. Not the most effective, but her heart's in the right place. And I think that's a wonderful thing. We could all learn something from that. And then we have Eric. Now it's your turn.
So just to make sure, so my like unclean scroll that I've got is literally tattooed on my back, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So if I cast it, it's coming from my person.
Yes.
Amazing. So I'm going to cast the Demon of Capillaries, which a creature suffocates for 1d6 rounds and takes 1d4 damage per round. So I just envision this being like almost like gross, like tendrils come out of my back. Like think about like those like time lapse videos when you see like mushrooms growing and they like kind of, it's that, but faster. And they kind of wrap themselves around the creature.
Horrifying. Yeah.
It doesn't like grapple or anything because that's not part of the spell, but maybe it like wraps itself into like around its face. Like kind of like a xenomorph, like it latches onto the face and then kind of expands around it a little bit.
Yeah.
And so for 2 rounds, it takes.
Did you do your roll? Did I miss that? I'm sorry.
Do I roll for the spell?
Yeah, it's a presence roll, I think. Right?
Okay. If that's the case, right before I do that, I'm gonna put a little dab in each of my eyes. Or into my right eye, sorry. My Ferner's Filtrate translucent oil that gives me a +2 of my presence for 2 hours.
So a long time for this game.
Yeah.
So it's a DR12 test.
Okay.
Failure means the power doesn't work, and the caster takes D2 HP damage.
Ooh. Okay. Well.
Do you have any omens? You could always use an omen.
I had 1 omen and I used it to read the runes.
Oh.
Thinking that they were more important than they were. So I rolled a 2 +2 is a 4.
I mean, just be thankful you didn't roll a 1. That's when the real bad shit happens.
So I take how much damage?
A D2.
A D2. Okay. I take 1 damage.
Okay. And you're also dizzy and cannot use powers for the next hour. So
amazing.
Take that. So I think what happens is it reaches out to strike this thing, and this thing is all capillary. It's made of capillaries, essentially. And it's too much. It overwhelms you. They get like almost like a psychic feedback for the amount of magic it would take to affect these things. And that's what snaps back on you.
Yeah, and like the tendril snaps back and like literally smacks me in the face. And you see like a slight tear in the fabric on my forehead. And it's just like pus and like black rot just kind of ooze a little bit out.
Nasty.
Little yellow horror goo.
Yeah.
All right. The last 2 are finally free of their cocoons. And they're both going for Theris. Give me 1 agility defense. And you get a +2 from Poltroon still.
Okay. That is a 7.
Well, that's crap.
Want more?
All right. One of these things latches onto you and bites into your leg.
Ah!
Do you have armor on?
I have leather armor.
All right. So roll a D4 for the damage, and then roll a D2 to subtract from that damage.
So the D4 is 1, and then roll a D2.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it'll just neutralize it. I don't think you can do any damage to you, right?
So that is a 1.
So the thing sinks its teeth into your leather armor and is trying to rip a chunk out of it. Trying to get to the flesh beneath. You take no actual damage. The second one's going to do the same thing, though, so if you wouldn't mind rolling me another agility test.
Okay. That is 21.
You're safe from that one. So how do you defend yourself from this thing? It's charging at you. It's free of his nasty meat cocoon.
I think what I do is, as the first one latches onto me, I just kind of kick my foot and kind of turn my body so that the other one kind of slams into the first one.
Nice. And now it's back to your turn.
And I'm going to use my abominable goblobber ability. So Theris wields this disgusting mouth of black and rotting teeth, and he just hucks a huge loogie at one of these weird ape creatures. So I have to roll higher than a 10, and I get a 3.
So you hack up your nasty spit. I think you just miss. I think it's really hits the ground. You see it sizzle into the stone a little bit, horrifyingly. And that brings us back to Karg.
Let me show you how it's done. You do it like this, and I'm going to go ahead and try to do another slice.
Alrighty, slice away.
That is 11 plus 3 plus 2.
That hits.
For 16.
Definitely hits, yep.
All right. Let's see what the D6 does.
And are you looking for the one on the ground, or are you attacking the one that's attached to Theris?
I think I'm going to attack the one attacking Theris.
Okay.
And that's 2 damage.
Alrighty. It seems upset by this. It does not care to be stabbed. And you didn't poison it to death? You tried that?
No, that's only on a 1.
Oh, okay, so that's as you're rolling damage. That's how you figure that out.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, cool. Love that.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, Payne's turn. Eric, you like Payne?
Mm-hmm. Currently in it as I got smacked in the face.
Yeah.
She rolled a 10 this time.
All right, so 10 plus 3 plus 2 is a 15. That hits. Roll her a d6 for this cleaver.
All right.
She's going to attack the one that is attached to CJ, Theris.
It's a 3.
All right. She goes up to it. She swings in, heedless of CJ's leg health, Theris's leg health, and chops into this thing. It gets stuck in the gore, but not quite enough to hurt CJ. She's trying to pull the cleaver free. And that's what she's doing at this point. And now we're back to Graft.
Yeah, so I guess after I can no longer use... Actually, I don't know how this would work. How would sending my monkey to bite something work? Because it has a punch bite to it.
It doesn't listen to you, but it could always choose to engage these things.
I was going to just lob it at...
Yeah, that's totally fine. That's legitimate.
I'm just going to take it off. Like, it doesn't listen, but if I put it in danger, it'll react.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I love that.
So I just grab the monkey. I grab Monkey, because that's the monkey's name, and just like lob it right at the one that's on the ground.
Alrighty. Have it do its attack, I guess.
It doesn't have any other stats. Like, it just has 3 HP and a punch bite D4.
So it's a raw D20 roll with +2 for Poltroon.
Amazing. I mean, that's a 7.
No, the monkey's trying to scrabble at this thing just out of fear. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Why am I being thrown? Why am I airborne now? And yeah, it's frantic scramblings are ineffective. But no, do you want to do anything on your own turn, or besides killing the monkey, or was that?
I mean, I'll run up to the one, because the one that's on Theris is still latched onto it.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty close to dead. So
I'm gonna grab the. I literally have a femur in my bag, so I'm gonna grab that.
Why wouldn't you?
This large femur bone, and I'm gonna try and smack.
You're gonna smack him with the funny bone?
So, yeah. I turn at Paul True and I'm like, shut the fuck up or you're next. And then because I do get the +2 from him, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a 12.
That hits.
4 damage.
This thing's very dead. How do you kill it?
I think I do like just a clean, like I kind of run this femur, like I swing down parallel to Theris's leg to like basically like scrape it off. Yeah. Does that make sense? Where it's like I'm swinging straight down. So when I hit it, I rip it off of his leg and into the ground, and it just like splatters as it hits the ground.
It's like hitting a Mylar balloon full of pudding.
Yeah, that's exactly how I would describe it.
A little tension to it at first, then it breaks, and then it all gives up the ghost. Just blow. Slap.
Yep.
So there's one left. I would do a morale roll for this thing to see if it flees, but it's gravely insane per the stat block. So
I don't think it flees.
Yeah, no. But it does turn
It's
around.
more of a worm
Kinda.
than a
I'm
flea.
not laughing at that. No, I get it. I'm trying to just kill your joke in the womb. So this thing's going to attack Theris again. Theris is just the target. Once they attack one thing, that's what they attack for the rest of the turn, apparently. So go ahead and give me an agility roll there, pal.
love that.
Alrighty.
Apparently, as if, you're not the one controlling this fantasy world.
No, it says here,
Oh.
maniacally attacks one target until they kill or are killed.
I got a nat 1.
Yay!
Uh,
Can you roll a D4 for me?
surely. A 1.
Aw.
Oh, yay.
So it goes times 2 damage. And your armor is reduced by 1 tier.
So now, I think it was at light armor. Now it's at no armor.
So this thing does 2 damage to you,
Mm-hmm.
and it rips whatever armor you have off, ruins it. Yeah. So it rips away your leg armor and sinks its fangs into your actual meat. And then you feel it kind of lose its shape and it's crawling up inside of your armor. That's what it's trying to do.
Oh, shit.
Almost like, like some kind of blood jelly.
Oh,
So it's between your skin and the armor on the inside now.
yeah, I don't like that.
No, that's not good. If you
I
ask
don't
me.
think Ferris likes that.
No. Well, now it's Theris' turn to do something about it.
He's going to try to smack it with the Morning Star.
You gotta smack yourself for the Morning Star.
Well, is there still like a visible body outside of it, or is it inside my...
It's kind of up inside of your armor.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
But not under my skin?
No, not under your skin. It's between your armor and your skin. So it's under your leathers. You could hit yourself in the chest with it. It's going to do whatever damage you do to you're going to take half as much damage to yourself.
See,
I don't want you to just like belly flop onto the hard floor.
See, that's what I was thinking, was just flopping, stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, absolutely could. Take off your armor.
Or rip off my armor. Well, it's not doing anything for me anyway. But like, I don't know how realistic it is to like rip off your armor in like one turn. I don't know. I guess it's up to you.
There'd be a way to do it if you were destroying your armor, which is already destroyed mechanically.
Yeah.
So if you just were like cutting at the straps with a dagger, or if one of your friends wants to help you with that.
Yeah, I would like to try to take off my armor, whatever that entails.
All right. Give me either presence or agility you can pick. So if you're doing this just with dexterousness, or if you're trying to do this with like some kind of thoughtfulness.
Because my syphilis doesn't matter anymore. They're both +0. That's a 12.
It's pretty good. Yeah. No,
Oh, wait. Actually, no. I'll do agility because the DR goes down by 2.
There you go. Yeah.
Actually, presence and agility both. Okay. 12.
And the DR was reduced by 2?
Yes.
It was a 14. So you've managed to actually nail it.
Yes.
So you cut the straps. You rip it off, and you're able to like kind of frisbee your leather armor away from you. It skitters across the ground. This thing is pissed. I thought it had you finally. And you see all these like small cookie cutter like wounds on your skin where it was starting to get through your actual meat into your jerkin. But it's alive still. And so are you, thankfully. It's your turn.
Don't worry, I'll take care of its whole living situation.
Like you were just going to say it took care of its hole. And I was like, sir, I don't think it's that. Well, maybe it's a lot of blunders. It's probably that kind of game.
It's a grim
Just
game.
let him have
it.
That's a 19.
That fucking hits, in case you were guessing.
Yeah. And that's 3 damage with my
that's pretty
family
good.
dagger. Yeah.
This thing is on death's door. One more solid hit, and this thing is gonzo. And now it's Payne's turn. Who wants to roll Payne?
Speaking of solid hits, Payne's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, she tries. She really tries her best, but it doesn't. She just It's the bloodlust. She's been so out of practice and she's so overcome with just wanting to murder things that she can't seem to connect the cleaver to the thing.
Was it a nat 1 or no?
No, it wasn't a nat 1.
Okay.
It was a 6.
But yeah, I think she's not sure how to attack this thing. It's like a paste inside of armor. So she's like stomping on it, but it doesn't seem to do much damage to it. So she's getting frustrated at this point. Now it is Eric.
Yeah. I'm going to run over and try and beamer smash it.
Yeah.
No. Not with a 5 or a 7.
Nope. And now I think Poltroon's bonuses are over as this last remaining jelly horror goes to attack Theris again with no armor. The thing skitters across the ground and leaps up at you again, trying to get to your chest wounds once more. Give me an agility check.
That is a 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you sidestep it or something? What do you do?
I think I do exactly what you said. I sidestep it.
So smart. So you dodge it. It hits the ground and kind of turns as it's skidding across the tiles in this pit, and it's coming back towards you now, but it's your turn, Theris. It's charging back to get another attack.
I'm going to try and smack it with this Morning Star.
Hell yeah.
Time to finish it. Let's go. That is a 13 to hit.
That'll do it.
Sick. 5 damage.
Oh,
it's flat.
Yeah, totally dead. Absolutely. Just red mist. Blah. Done.
And I think Theris is just like laughing maniacally at, because he likes to murder now. So, he's having a pretty good time, even if he's kind of beaten up.
You hear a slight singing from inside of you. It's as your blood is singing an exultant cheer. You feel blessed.
Yes.
You feel like you belong in this place.
Yes. I was always meant to be here.
When you say that out loud, I look at you and I'm like, I just want to point out that I said before that weapon had some magic. I don't know if you want to just put it down for a second.
I'm the chosen one, Shroomy. Look at me. I'm unstoppable.
Great. Wonderful. Listen, as long as we kill everything in here and I can leave, you can be as chosen as you'd like to be.
Sounds great, mate.
So your blood calls to you, Theris. You actually notice that of the 3 statues, they're not all the same. The ones that are lining the wall. One of them that's cutting its own throat has a bowl in front of it, and that bowl actually has old blood inside of it. The other 2 do not.
I think Theros, he just feels it. He's going to walk up and he's going to take his hand and kind of smear it across his chest to get some blood in, and just kind of like smears it in the bowl.
In classic old-timey D&D style, you hear a rumbling. The statue turns slowly and reveals a passage. And the passage smells fantastic. A smell of burning herbs wafts up from somewhere down this passageway.
Just so you know, Theris is like really fucking stinky. So maybe it doesn't smell so good anymore if I'm around.
But Kark, I think you would notice that this is actually very expensive incense. Like, this is high quality stuff, which is shocking for these rubes to have access to this sort of thing.
I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I think we should follow the man-horn.
Of course, I'm the chosen one.
Oh, yes, but they never said what you were chosen for.
So as you walk down this tunnel, a reddish light starts to brighten the space until you find yourself in a well-appointed, horribly disgusting room. So the source of the smell is from a brazier burning herbs. It looks like someone had recently put something on here. Who knows what or why or when or how, but the smoke is pretty thick in this room. You see a gruesome display of an impaled corpse watching over a table with a carved wooden box on it, and there's also crumbling stairs winding down into black depths.
Oh, what's in the box? What's in the box?
Step one, do I notice anything about the herbs in the air if I use a presence?
Yeah, you can try.
Nat 20, baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
These are extremely high quality, extremely rare herbs that only temples have access to in like the larger cities. And since things have been falling to shit, they're even more rare than they otherwise would have been. Commoners do not, like full stop, do not have access to this stuff.
Can I tell where any of it's burning from?
There's a brazier in the room.
I would like to check the brazier. I want to try and grab some of the non-burned ones if it's still like burning them out. Like I want to grab some of the.
Nearby, there's a small silk filled box with extra herbs that you can certainly pilfer.
Oh yeah, I'm taking those.
Yeah, not a problem. They're all yours, bud. You have like a pound of religious herbs. They're probably worth at least 150 silver.
Boy, maybe when we get out of here, we can smoke those. What'd you say, Shroomy?
I'm still you and this chosen one stuff is not making me feel good. So I'll smoke these on my own later, privately, without a chosen one.
Well, just you wait and see once I get us out of here. You'll want to share those with me.
So the dried corpse that's in this room, it's an embalmed human corpse. It's been run through with a spear, like impaled up through the butt, into the skull. It's wearing a leather gimp mask.
Oh, so we're at a Pride festival. It's just we're at Pride.
And a ceremonial apron made of some kind of leather.
Yeah, this is just the kink leather part of the parade. Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride.
And it's staring over this table here.
And the box that's on the table, you said?
And there's a box on the table.
Is there anything particular about the box? Is there any more like runes on it? Is there anything telling about it?
The box is very well made, and the table is not. The table's kind of shit. But the box is nice. There's no lock on it that you can see. It looks like a regular old wooden box.
I'm like, hey, chosen one, come open this box.
All right.
Raph takes the step back just for good measure.
Inside the box is a bronze key, a red gem worth 100 silver, and a letter. Can you read?
No, I don't think Paris can read.
But you have a key and a cool red gem now. And you like the red gem. It looks like blood made of stone.
I'll go
Guys,
ahead and but take this from you. And Karg will take the letter.
The gem? Look, I'm the chosen one, though. This is my blood gem.
Right, no, I'm taking the paper because, well, you know what? I'm sure your gem is very precious.
You can wipe your ass with that. I don't need it. Words never did me good.
My expectations of you remain at a steady medium. And I'm going to read this letter.
Okay. It says, Grobfried, this is the last time I wish to remind you of the sausage recipe. 2 parts belly, 1 part thigh, the pickled eyes I gave you, sage, and thyme. Do not fuck up the next meat delivery or find yourself to be an ingredient. I. It's signed. Just the letter I.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
There's a seal on it. You might recognize the seal.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like a griffin being stabbed by a spear. And a woman's crying over its body.
Yeah, I know this house. It's, well, why don't you, I'll let you tell me what the name of this house is.
It's House Kaletter. And it's, all of the religious leaders have to get the blessing of this house before they can achieve any kind of earthly power. So even though they're like a patron of spiritualists, they're a patron of religions, they're the ones that actually hold the power behind the pageantry of all the churches in the area.
I'll tell you what, I have here a letter that is strangely enough prophesying your ascension to the chosen one. And you can take this to a certain house and they will reward you handsomely. And I will gladly give this to you for those other 2 worthless items.
Well, I don't know. I don't think he's going to believe you because I don't think he likes the
Yeah, that's fair.
nobility.
I mean, I could roll presence to persuade you.
Yeah. Okay. Can I set my DC?
Yeah.
What is the typical DC is 12, right?
Yeah. 12 is easy, 14 is difficult, 16 is hard, and 18 is like nigh impossible.
Because I think he thinks that this blood gem is his birthright at this point. I think he's kind of crazy like that. So I'm going to say the DC is 16.
I'm going to spin an omen to drop it.
Okay, so now it's a 12.
All right.
I wasted that. Because that is a 16 on the dice plus 2.
Well,
Here you go, fancy pants.
you know,
When I'm king, you're going to be in hell.
Yeah, when you're king, poor Peltroon's going to lose his job.
Yeah, he's going to be the first on the altar of sacrifice.
Could he really tell you, why did the sorcerer open a bakery? He needed a change of spells.
Yeah, you're first to go.
Son of a bitch.
I want all three of you to take one omen. I love this. This is fun. None for Poltroon.
Poor Peltroon.
So who's getting the Gimp mask?
The good old chosen one there.
You got the Gimp mask, you have the ceremonial apron, and then the spear that's up this thing's butt.
Ooh.
The spear is magical.
Spear's magical. Is there any way that we can tell like what it does?
When you touch it, you feel in it the same call for blood that you feel within yourself. It hungers for blood and it needs to be fed.
Oh God. Well,
I think we should give it to Pain.
yes, that's a great idea. That is a good idea.
So she kicks over the corpse. She puts her foot on its ass and retrieves the spear. She kind of hefts it. And she looks down at its shaft. She takes a couple swings with it. Does all this cool, like spinning it around herself. She's like, yes, this will do quite nicely. Yes, there's glory in this weapon.
I think I need a cigarette after that.
CJ, if you'd like, this apron does count as armor.
I would love to wear the human skin apron.
Yep. It's a tier 1 armor. And again, I can't overstate this enough. There is a free Gimp mask. Interested. It looks like the masks they were wearing outside.
I was like, I already have one. So
Yeah, I have one too. So
there you go.
And like if
let's put it on what's his face? Let's put it on the clown.
Yeah. Yeah, holding down. Put it on.
what?
I grabbed the Gimp mask off the corpse and I literally just like pull it over onto his head.
They wouldn't have zippers back then, so I guess it's just tied up like a scarecrow mouth.
Yeah.
Perfect.
With bits of old sinew, because Mörk Borg. That's why.
I mean, they wouldn't have buttons. I mean,
Right.
yes, I know buttons existed back then, but they wouldn't have done that.
No, not for this thing.
Stitching's so much easier.
Right. And it's all like extra gross because it's Mörk Borg. There's bits of mold and old chewing gum and a stray pube on it.
It smells like my gym.
It's like that Coke I got from Clarence Thomas.
Jesus Christ.
So there's a staircase, right, guys? And the staircase goes down. A black, spooky staircase crumbling down into the blacker depths. And it's wicked, gothic, and creepy because Mörk Borg.
Mörk
Borg.
I'm scared.
So, obviously, Pain is going to take the lead.
Yeah. She's going to tap on the stairs with her spear tip as she goes down, feeling in front of her, make sure it's not going to crumble.
Mm-hmm.
It's made of rock, but the rock seems like it's soft, not quite dirt, but not firm enough to be good, proper stone that you expect to walk on. So as she heads to the landing and you all are down there, this room, unlike the other rooms, is lit by itself, but you can't tell where the light is coming from. It's just kind of everywhere, a vague reddish light. An impossible black tree growing out of a field of red flowers bursting through the domed ceiling. That's where you were before, where the fruit fell off. This is the tree. This is the bottom of the tree. Yeah. Also, a massive demon's head carved from a black boulder, mouth agape at a fist-sized hole in the dome's apex. And into this demon's maw, you see blood dripping from the hole above, where you killed those blood fruit monkey things. Dripping down from the ceiling into the demon's mouth. Bloop, bloop. There's a rush of a dark river heard through a collapsed portion of the wall. You taste iron on your tongue. And there's a red mist everywhere. And there's some kind of things moving in the mist. You can see the eddies they make in the mist as they move more than you can see the things themselves. But there's something in here. And lastly, there's a big old spooky altar.
Of course there is. Why wouldn't there be?
At the base of the tree.
So so we see like this big tree, the roots of the tree, an altar, an assortment of other things. There's like a mist that seems to have things moving in it.
Yep. A big carved demon head with its mouth open, accepting blood into it. Big tree, big altar. There's a crumbling wall nearby. You can hear a river going past. You know, the usual.
Yeah.
So if we go towards the river, maybe that's going to get us out of this craziness.
Could be.
What do you guys think?
Penny's going to go look at the head.
I was going to say, it's either that or we could just check to see if they're done upstairs with the party.
Can we hear anything anymore? Like, or did that die down?
You're too far down.
Yeah, we're too far down.
All you hear is the plink, plink of the blood dripping into the demon's mouth, which is the exact timing of the pulse in your own body, Theris.
Oh,
that's unsettling.
Plink, plink, plink.
do I feel like I need to murder?
Not any more than usual.
Okay.
How big is the mouth on it? Like, is it?
It's like a 10-foot wide mouth.
Okay. I was like, let's just cover it, but that seems unreasonable to cover.
See, I'm wondering what's in the mist. What are those creatures just kind of crawling around down there? I don't know.
As the blood continues to trickle down, the forms in the mist start taking more of a firm shape. They look like these 8-foot tall, strong-looking figures. They are becoming more present in this world as the blood continues to drip into the demon's mouth. And you're going to start hearing their voices and chanting. This is not a language you can understand. Well,
is this mist over the mouth itself, or is it kind of around where there's like actual ground?
It's everywhere at this point. It's concentrated around the mouth.
Okay.
But it's spreading out like a cool haunted house cauldron of liquid smoke, you know?
So I don't think this is going to be productive, but it's also a one shot, and this feels like we're nearing the end, so I might as well just throw it and see what happens. I have a bomb.
Why do you have a bomb?
And now you tell us?
Saving it for a special occasion, okay? We don't just bring it up for anybody. You got to earn it. And I want to like chuck it. I don't want to chuck it into the like down into the mouth because I'm worried that if I do that, it'll explode, but it won't actually do anything because like, what would it do? So I want to throw it at like the base of the mouth, like almost like where like the chin is, to like maybe break a little bit of that, and then maybe hit whatever is around it in the mist.
I mean, there's the trunk of the tree in here too, right?
True. I could throw it at the tree.
And then like the tree would just collapse.
Yeah, I'll throw it at the tree. I'll do that. That's fine.
Yeah. Throw it at the tree.
Okay, I'm throwing it at the tree.
Yeah, throw it at the tree.
Am I rolling agility for that?
No, it won't be necessary.
Okay.
As soon as you form the thought of I will destroy that tree, the dancing stops. And these 8 figures turn and step fully out of the mist to look at you. And they say, now you will have to die.
I'm like, cool. Still chucking it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you
Portals.
You throw, and I don't know if it's the inherent violence in this place that the bomb responds to, if somehow things are amplified down here, but the explosion is far more than you've ever seen a bomb like this make.
Mm-hmm.
it destroys the tree. The things are screaming impossibly loud. It hurts. It makes the jelly of your eyes vibrate as they scream. The wall separating you and this river collapses, and the things begin to pursue you. So this is the cool part of this, but this is a chase to end this game. There's a chase scene, and there's a mini game, and it's fucking cool. You're gonna like this.
I'm just glad I got to use the bomb because I was like, I have this bomb. What am I even going to do with it?
Okay. You are being pursued down this river run type idea. It's a long cave that goes God knows where, but all you know at this point is that it goes away from these things. Okay.
Okay.
There are certain rules to how this is going to work that I'm going to give you now. Each round, the PCs go first, and each one of you will go 1d6 plus agility fields down here, right?
Okay.
Once all the PCs have completed your movement and actions, the berserkers will move ahead. These things are called berserkers. So the good news is you have a little bit of a head start here. And the better news is that because you rescued Pain, she's going to fight the berserkers to hold them off for an additional round at the beginning.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's huge. So you had a 1 in 6 chance of getting her versus the other things here, the other prisoners. So you lucked out there, and you decided to rescue her. Even more lucky, she survived the fight. Even more lucky, and now that'll come home to roost. As this wall collapses from the blast and you recover yourselves, the berserkers place themselves between you and any other exit. This riverway is your chance out of here. It's the only spot you have, unless you want to stand and fight. And these things are fucking horrifying. They are essentially the avatars of a forgotten blood god. That is the reason for the season, the reason for this plane existing. And they want nothing more than to flay you eternally. So with that, why don't we see who gets to go first, second, or third? Let's give me an agility roll, everybody.
Nat 20, baby.
All right. So first up.
Nat 1.
Oh my god.
But I have
Okay.
a minus.
Smell you
I have a
later.
-1, so I have a 0.
I have a +3, so I'm
Oh
at a
Lord,
4.
boys.
Wait, both of you got nat ones?
Yeah.
And I got
Yeah.
nat 20. Suck it.
Wretched.
Wow.
Feast or famine.
Fucking suck it.
All right, so we got Theris going very first, then Karg, and Paltroon. And then it's Graft. So you see these things rushing towards you. Pain turns around and looks at you, and she smiles. She holds her spear in her hand. She goes, "This is the perfect place. I'll show these cowards how to die with honor, how to honor the war god. Everything else is failing. These cowards are giving up, fleeing, robbing, whoring. The only salvation is a good death, and to join the battle is eternal. Friends, fight with me or flee, I do not care, but I will stand and fight." And she turns, you see her sniff a whole bunch of red powder. You're not quite sure where she got it from. But she screams and charges headlong by herself into the fray. And the berserkers kind of take a moment and are like, what the fuck? But it buys you some time. So you actually get to go twice first before the berserkers move at all. Theris, give me a D6 plus agility roll to see how far you can go ahead.
That's a 3.
All right, next up we have Karg.
That is 5 on the dice, and this is agility, so it's +3 for an 8.
All right, and you have a choice here, bud. So as you're running through this cave, you see rapids ahead of you. It cuts off your path. Black rocks like axe blades break the surface of the frigid water. Now you can dash through, but if you stumble, something bad might happen. Or you can slow down and carefully navigate the rapids. You only move forward one spot, but you'll be safe. So do you want to push?
Oh no, crank it, yank it, let's dash.
All right. Give me another agility test then, pal.
That is 17 +3.
Fuck yeah. So you're actually going to continue on. So you get past the things. How do you do it? Do you like hop from rock to rock? Do you swim?
As much as I would like to think of like hopping rock to rock or swimming, I think Karg just gets insanely lucky and is just like flopping and failing almost masterfully through these waves and just barely gets out of the rapids.
Like
in
Mr.
time.
Magooing it entirely, just like
Yeah, absolutely.
luck is carrying you over. And Paltroon is right there with you step by step, which is incredible. You're not sure how he's doing it, and neither is he, but you're across. And now we're up to Graft.
I have -1 to my agility, so these are going to be great. There's a 2 -1, so 1.
And the Berserkers are engaging Pain. You look back just in time, Graft, to see that they surround her and strike her down. And they don't stop hitting her until she is unrecognizable as a human being.
You see, like, it's not a tear per se, but some sort of little ooze bile kind of trickles down the side of Graft's face. Because, she was kind of cool.
Sorry, Pain.
She's
R.I.P.
very
in
cool.
pieces. Darius.
All right, D6 here goes. That's a 6.
Dang. Nice. 1, 2, 3 rapids for you too, there, pal. You want to take it slow, or do you want to go for it?
Are you able to reveal the DC of it?
A DC is always going to be a 12.
It's going to be a 12.
Unless I otherwise say, hey, no. Otherwise, it seems fucky, and I don't want to think that I'm cheating you guys.
It'd be a 50-50. And they're sharp rocks, right? So if I fall, I'm going to probably get hurt. I only have 3 health left. Would armor help me in that case? I don't know.
Not for this.
Not for this.
Because it doesn't, just a little bit of extra information you wouldn't normally get, but I'm such a cool guy. How this works is it doesn't do any physical damage to you in terms of HP. It slows you for the next round.
Okay. I still have plenty of space to go with this 6 that I rolled, so let's risk it. So I have to be a 10 because it's agility.
Yep.
I didn't do it. Oof. Got a 7.
Oh. So you slip under the water. And for a hot second, your bloodlust is gone because the fear has replaced it as a cold shock hits you and you're battered against the sharp rocks. Something in your knee gives way. You hear like a wet pop.
Oh.
And your movement is reduced by 2 next round.
Okay.
I do like how at the end of this, it's very much fuck all of you. I'm going to get mine as we all go sprinting. And Grabs is in the back being like, fuck my drag.
Yeah,
There's opportunities later on to help each other, but just not early on.
I was going to say, worst case scenario, like I'm cutting Paltroon's throat to go to the next.
Oh, poor Paltroon. All right, Karg, you're in the lead there, bud.
Oof. That's 1 on the dice plus 3 is 4.
All right. A gauntlet, not like a glove, but like a narrow passageway of soot-black corpses growing out of the tunnel walls, cackling madly and clawing for living flesh. You can dash through by either rolling an attack to hack at the corpses or defending yourself from the groping hands.
Yeah, then I'm going to hack and slash.
Yeah, are you going to hack or are you going to try to dodge through everything?
Dodge.
Okay. So go ahead and give me an agility test.
That is 13 plus 3.
You're golden.
Yeah.
They try to grab you. I think you kind of like kick Paltroon on the side of the leg.
Yeah.
And they start grabbing for him. He's able to get past, but yeah, you've definitely like scooted past by offering him up.
It's an awkward silence the next 3 spaces.
And then lastly, we have Graft there, pal.
Doing great. I don't know if I just stand still because I rolled a 1 and my agility is -1.
I think you move forward 1 at least, because otherwise it's, standing still sucks.
At what point do you just throw Monkey and like have Monkey make a run for it?
Transfer my brain into Monkey's body.
I feel like Monkey has probably said fuck off and has gone and run.
Alrighty. The Berserkers move.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's scary.
Yeah.
For somebody other than me.
Oh. We're back up
right.
to the top with my boy, Theris.
D6 -2. Let's go. That's a 1. -2.
So you move ahead 1 space.
Fuck yeah.
Welcome to my life.
There you go, pal. All right. Karg.
All right, let's go ahead and run this again.
You get to do all the fun shit.
Oh, that's so lovely. That is a 6 on the dice plus 3 for a 9.
Holy shit. He's a runner. He's a track star. Shelves of giant fungi, or fungi, depending who you are, line the walls of this cave. The air is thick with faintly glowing spores. You can dash through,
Or what?
Like you can dash through, or you can
dash die
through.
here, I guess.
I guess we're dashing through.
Well, you can always say that you want to do something else. Like it's a bunch of spores here. You can run through. You can try to think of something else to do here if you have any suggestions.
I mean, I would love to say that I have other suggestions, but literally everything else that I have wouldn't. Wait a minute. They're spores, right?
Yep.
I want to give him a taste of false dawn.
Okay. Yeah.
So by turning on the lights, like his mushrooms need like a dark, damp place.
Mm-hmm.
So this light would,
I like it.
yeah.
So go ahead and cast your spell. Do your magic test there.
Oh, I have a magic test for this?
Yup.
Oh.
What, you didn't study for the test?
Wow, I
No.
almost feel so bad.
Okay, this
Yeah.
is presence.
It is. It is a DR12 presence test.
Okay.
We let it go the first time because I'm cool like that.
I'm going to use... Can I use one of my omens to drop it even lower?
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm not real confident right now. So I'm going to go do that. I shouldn't have done it, but that is a 17 on the dice plus 2 for 19.
Yeah. The light goes on. The spores kind of draw back. You see the fungus kind of shrink back into the walls. It's not totally gone, but it'll make your test to dash through easier. And how long will it last?
Let's see here. That's 11, 12 minutes.
Okay. So whoever passes through this in the next 12 minutes will also have an easier time of it too.
You're welcome. See, I'm not selfish.
So give me another presence test, and to get as you dash through, because it's not just your agility that will get you through this; it's your strength of your mind, because these spores are psychoactive.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Oh man, yeah. And so you
Also, I'm messed up, so
I want someone to be affected by this stuff. Bum me out.
I was affected.
Yeah, whatever. You don't count. The bones of a huge prehistoric worm beast block the tunnel. The maw of the malformed skull slams shut. You have to open the jaws somehow. It's a strength check.
is there kind of like an... Oh, well, I think that would be a strength check, too. I was hoping to, like, use my whip on, like, a ledge or something and, like, Indiana Jones it. But I feel like that would be strength, too.
It would still be a strength check, yeah. I like the idea. I really do.
Okay, yeah, I want to use that idea, but, like, I'll still roll strength for it.
Okay.
That's 11 on the dice minus 1.
Oh, you are stuck here. And Poltroon is just cartwheeling behind you, laughing. He realizes he'll also die here, but at least now he'll get to watch you die too. But you are stuck here, my friend.
What are you doing, boss? Hanging around?
Too bad you couldn't whip yourself into shape. Not getting the swing of things.
Stop.
We're gonna die. Yep, no bones about it. God damn it, Poltroon.
It's curtains for us. That's not even a pun.
But it's true. Cartwheel sounds. All right, Craft.
Yep.
You in danger, girl.
Very aware. Oh, thank God. It's 5.
Okay.
That's the most that I can possibly move and around.
You're in the rapids. You want to risk it for a biscuit, or do you want to take your time?
I have to take my time. There's literally no way that
Okay. So you take your time and you go to 4. That's where you'll begin next turn.
Yep.
And now, I think you'll find it is the Berserker's turn to move. Horrifying. It's like Jason. Like they're just slowly always hitting the average to get up to you guys. All right, now we're at Theris again.
All right. D6, come on. A 2.
Could be worse.
You could be me.
Oh, is that with your movement penalty? Because that's done now.
No, that's without the movement penalty.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure before you ended up screwing yourself over. All right, Card. You're still there, pal. Now, do you think Poltroon would help you if you convinced him?
Yeah, I think he would.
Well, because he'll die too. He's got to be aware of that.
I'll float too.
We all float down here.
Yeah, I think Karg will say, okay, I know, Poltroon, we've had our differences in the past. I may not have been as receptive ruler as I should have been, but I promise, help me through this, and all of that changes. I will give you your freedom. I'll pay you.
Roll a presence check to see if he believes you. DC 12. Should be a higher DC, honestly, but...
I mean, it wouldn't matter because that's a 21.
Oh, you know what, boss? You're all right.
Shit, that's all you had to say. Presses a lever on the wall. The jaw just opens.
Between the two of you, you're actually able to wrestle the mouth open. Now, you can all rush through it, and it'll slam shut behind you, or you can wait here for the others.
Oh, we're letting it shut.
I
Clank.
can't blame you.
All right, Graft.
Yep. 4.
Not too shabby. 2, 3, 4. Hey, look at you. You're not in the back anymore. Incredible.
For now.
All right. So this is the area, as you may recall, with all the grasping dead things.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to try to hack and slash your way through, or do you want to try to dodge and weave?
I guess I'll hack and slash my way through because my agility is a -1.
Mm-hmm.
So 15.
Yeah, you're totally fine. You hear whispering as you go through. You know, they're calling to you like, just give up, join us, lie down. We all love the mushrooms. We're all fungus down here. Join us, lie down. And you're like, how about you get stabbed instead? It's a
You,
choice.
not today.
Get stabbed.
I'm not dying here.
And slowly, inevitably, berserkers float over the water. They don't care about no water. Horrifying stuff. Theris, back to you.
All right, come on.
You see Graf run past you and just lap you a little bit as you struggle with your knee injury.
Well, I pass him again because I roll a 6.
All
I'm
right.
going to try and hack and slash my way through with this +1 mace. I got an 18.
Okay, you're good.
See ya.
So as you take a breath, Graft, on the outside of this thing, you know, huffing and chugging air, you see your old pal, Theris, just like, fuck you.
Just barging through.
Soaked, limping, but still somehow faster than you.
I was like, I was going to offer some health potion, but you said fuck off, so bye.
Karg, you're standing amidst the jumble of bones inside this worm beast. There's interesting debris here. Like whatever this thing was in life, it was eating treasures. There's things glinting all around you. Now you can take a turn here to gather material and treasure and goods, or you can just fuck off and keep going.
Okay. Ray, as a player, knows it's best to keep on running,
Mm-hmm.
but Karg is nobility and has a taste for the finer things of life. And I think Karg and Poltroon both are going to just like start raking it in.
Sure. So you manage to fill your pockets with all manner of gold, handfuls of silver. Say all told, it's probably close to 300 gold worth, or 300 silver rather. Silver is the standard here.
Okay.
Worth of coinage and a bronze warhammer
Oh, perfect.
that calls to be used to knock things down. It loves knocking things down, and subsequently, so do you now. You love knocking things down. Doors, especially. You hate doors. You've never met a door you've wanted to have shut. Open doors are best doors. Second best to that, crushed doors. Love it. No more closed doors. You hate doors. When you have your palace again, no more doors. Totally open. Bad doors. Doors are bad. Doors. All right. Graft.
Yep. I'm going to try and run further.
Yeah, you are.
2.
Look at you around the corner, and the inevitable look as he inches ever closer to you. Getting close. All right, Theris.
Okay. Come on. Come on. A 3.
A 1, a 2, a 3. All
This
right.
is the fungus, right?
Yep. Give me a presence test.
a presence test.
And you have a -3 to the presence right now.
Oh.
It was a
Does that
-6 initially.
Oh, wait, what? Hold on. So I take 3 off of my presence roll?
Yeah,
Okay. And then the DR also decreases by 2.
correct.
I rolled an 8. -3 is a 5. So
Excellent.
Oof.
That's okay. Can you please roll me a D8?
yes. 6. Yeah, 6.
I love that. You are the chosen one.
I knew it.
The spores sing to you. You comprehend. You, capital K, know this tunnel down to the last pebble. And if you ever come into contact with the berserkers, you know exactly where to hit to make a landslide happen.
Whoa.
In fact, if you want to now, you could crush some of them. All it would take is for you to kick the wall.
I have a feeling this isn't going to work very well, and it's going to really hurt me. But it's a one shot, so of course I have to fucking kick the wall.
Sure, you go over to the wall, you kind of feel it, you smell it, you feel the crevices. You
The
kick
chosen wall.
one spot. You know the spot. You've always known this spot on the wall. You kick it. Roll a D4.
That is a 4.
Somewhere down the line, you hear an insane crashing and rending of earth as the ceiling collapses on top of the berserkers, killing 4 of the 8.
Nice. What the fuck? Holy shit.
That was
You're welcome, guys.
That was the one good one on this list, pretty much.
I was truly waiting for you to be like, you kick, and then suddenly the tunnels behind you start collapsing and I die.
See, that's what I was gonna think.
I was kind of hoping that would be it, but no, I'm shocked. You got the one good one.
I'm the fucking chosen one.
I really think you might be.
Yeah.
The chosen one.
You might be like the big NPC if you ever do a campaign here. Like you're the big bad evil guy. They gotta stop. Oh, fuck. Okay, well that was wild.
I'm just happy I did something cool.
Yeah, you did. I'm fucking shocked as hell. All right, Karg.
All right.
You
Let's
gathered
go.
your winnings.
Yeah, let's do this. Oh, that's lovely. That is another 6 on the dice plus 3.
Damn. So you see a bunch of beams, like an old mine, like you see the wooden rotting beams holding up the ceiling in front of you. And similarly, the sound of rocks cascading behind you gives you an idea. If you'd like to, you can smash these beams and put a pretty sizable wall behind you, between you and the berserkers. It will probably sentence your compatriots to certain death, as they'll have to deal with the wall in their way. You can also just dash through and do nothing.
I ignore the pleas of this bronze hammer telling me to smash stuff, and I just gonna keep rushing on through.
So you're at a junction. This is a fork in the path now.
Okay.
Good. There's rocks down to the left that have a reddish tint, and to the right, total blackness.
I'm betting I probably couldn't cast my light spell into the darkness.
Sure, you can try.
Okay. Yeah, I want to do that to get kind of a better idea
Yep.
of where we're going.
Give me a presence test.
12.
Yeah. So you see a vast black pool, and as you look kind of towards it, you can see that there's a current in there pulling the water towards the far wall, but there's no opening that you can see on that far wall. But that's where we're going to leave you for now.
Okay.
Just remember, you still have movement to do. You have 3 movement in reserve. But I want to get everyone else kind of caught up that way before you choose which way you want to go.
Okay.
All right, Graft.
Doing so well. Big money, no whammies. 2.
Well, hey, you're not dead yet. And then these things will move. And then we're back to Theris.
All right. Oh, I make it to the jaws.
You do. They have not been left propped up. They crash back down.
Mm-hmm.
So, my bud, what are you going to do?
I guess I'll attempt to open them. I'm a pretty strong guy.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend my omen. That would have been an 11, and I know like the typical one is 12. So let's do this again. Literally the same exact number, 11.
You do not open it. Nope.
Ah,
So you struggle with it. You Your arms are shaking. Your legs are tired from all the running and sprinting. Somewhere down, you hear the berserkers now chanting as they're running towards you. But you're stuck here. You can't go any further right now.
Got it.
And we're going to skip Karg for the time being and go to Graft.
I got 2, so I made it to the psychedelic mushrooms.
Give me a presence check, my bud.
Yep. And I still get I have my +2 from the eye drops because that lasted for 2 hours.
Oh yeah, you haven't spent 2 hours in this place.
It doesn't matter. I rolled a 6.
Okay, give me a D8 roll there, pal.
Oh, you just got to cause the landslide again.
Yeah, just roll another 6.
Or 4. I hear 4s are nice.
Craft, you know mushrooms. You've been around spores.
They grow up my face, of course.
You're not afraid of these things.
No.
In fact, all of your experience with mushrooms up to this point have been largely positive. These are healing things. Like, you don't have to be afraid of this. The others don't understand. They're not familiar with them like you are. Take a deep breath. You fill with air. As you breathe in, you keep breathing in beyond your capacity. You breathe in so much. For the next, give me a D2 roll.
That's a 2.
The next 2 rounds, you lazily drift 2 rounds per round, a D2 rounds per round, until you deflate, unless someone pulls you along with them.
Well, all my friends said fuck off a while ago, so
I mean, Theris, you could go back to help to save him and then have him help you open that mouth.
Save them.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Thank you. Save them.
I mean, Theris doesn't know that I'm back there just tripping on shrooms.
Right, that's true. He's probably preoccupied, and you are. I mean, if the geology of this place is to be believed, you're behind a curve, so I guess they wouldn't know. But you know they're back there somewhere.
Well, okay. So if I were to retrieve him, I'd have to get a 1, 2, 3, 4. Right?
Yep.
Land on his spot. Their spot, excuse me. 1, 2, 3. So the berserkers or whatever, they're going to go 1, 2, 3. So they'll be right behind the 6. Then I'll have to go. They'll catch us. I literally cannot save you.
You do what you got to do. This is a one shot.
Yeah.
My feelings will not be hurt if you leave.
There's a chance because they're going to drift forward at least one spot next turn.
But I go before them.
True.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Okay. So you're floating. Okay. Now we're back up to Theris.
Okay. Strength check, I guess. Come on. That's a 14.
That's enough.
Yes. Yes.
You get through, the jaws clamped behind you, and it looks like someone has rifled through this spot, like some mad person who's obsessed with money or something, like dug through this for treasure. There's a few coins scattered through, but really nothing worth stopping for.
Old man Potter.
Do I roll a d6 now?
Yeah.
Or do I just okay. So yeah, I don't think I can. If you say that it's been rifled through and there's nothing left, then I won't take it. That's a 6, baby.
Okay. You were very worried about the berserkers coming up behind you. You know you couldn't go back in time to save Graft. But you could put a wall between yourself and the berserkers if you really wanted to by knocking this rock fall down. If really sealing Graft's fate. Or you just run through and say, fuck it, I'll get through.
I know it definitely makes sense to crash it, but I don't think I need to. I'm going to run through.
Okay.
I want to catch Karg.
And so I think you do with the 6, you're like right behind Karg. Graft.
So wait, I'm drifting because I'm just high as a kite right now, right?
You're literally full of air and floating forward.
It's like
the cave winds are pushing you through. Yeah. Exactly.
Amazing.
So give me a D2 roll, please, my friend.
It'd be a 1.
Zoo. So good news, bad news.
Well, question. So I'm obviously I'm full of air and I know that I'm still cognizant of what's going on around me, right?
Yeah.
Because if I know that they're about to round the corner and close in on me,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to just ingest a whole shit ton of the red powder.
You've
I like
fucking a war blimp.
Basic, like, because like if I'm gonna die, and even though my so-called friends have all abandoned me, I still could be of use. Like, I'm not gonna go down just floating in air.
Do you have any water left in your water skin? You could try to make a tea out of the remaining powder.
Is that the one that's the most fucked up? Yeah,
Yep.
fuck yeah, I'll make a tea. I've got a full water skin.
So you hear these things coming up behind you. They're screaming
Mm-hmm.
wordlessly, but you feel the words in your bones. You know they're calling for your blood. You have just enough time to take your water skin out, pour all 4 of the vials you have saved into it, give it a couple good shakes.
Mm-hmm.
You down the whole thing. And for the next, roll me a d4.
3.
If there was a bear on cocaine in the same room as you, it would be the second most dangerous thing for the next 3 minutes. You experience years of suffering over the next 3 minutes in the forgotten dimension of blood, where you hear the whisperings of a name, Theris, 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 Theris. You have a permanent +2 to strength and toughness,
Okay.
but you are functionally, permanently, and dangerously insane. So essentially, you become an NPC that only wants to kill.
Yeah. Which is my goal. Like, I wanted to be like take down as many of them as I could when they inevitably caught up to me.
Roll me a d4.
2.
So there's only 4 berserkers left. 2 of them you're able to kill. I don't know how this looks. It's essentially you are a weather balloon with fangs.
I think it just goes like like I think I just pull the full mask off and like let the shrooms continue just like growing out of me. I'm slashing at things. It's just a wild whirlwind of like mushroom tendrils, a blade, and a femur that I've got on me.
Hell yeah. And I think you're close enough to the mushrooms behind you that they respond to you as well. And there's a certain like massive spike in fecundity in this one area.
Mm-hmm.
And you're reaching to them, they're reaching to you, and in the middle of them is caught these berserkers, which are somehow panicked. You sense panic from these otherworldly horrors. And 2 of them are consumed. Soul, flesh, ether, everything consumed. And 2 of them are able to get past you, and they're going to continue on. And that is the last scene of the Graft show.
They tried. They tried their best.
They fucking kicked ass.
They really did.
All right. For the sake of story, we're having Theris catch up, and Korg, Keg, you've chosen to go right into the pond, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, Theris?
See, I would want to go towards the red rocks,
Okay,
attracted to the blood motif.
sure.
Ha, dummy. Red means stop. Black abyss means let's go.
All right. So you make it to the pond, you splash in it. It's very deep. You can't touch the bottom fairly quickly. And that's when you realize your pockets are full of silver.
Oh no.
Dun, dun, dun.
And you have a massive bronze warhammer. Now, Paul Truin is also full of silver, not quite as much as you. Definitely get the lion's share here. And he's rapidly trying to scoop things out of his pockets and take off his pointy shoes and floppy hat as they sink down into the abyss. And he's scrabbling towards the far shore, scrabbling as hard as he can as he's being pulled under. And you are following fairly quickly, too. And that's where we're going to pause for a hot second. And Theris, you make it to the red rocks. It's a wall of red rocks. You kind of peek through and you see into the prison chamber you were in before through the cracks. Remember that cell that had the weird wall?
Yeah.
That would have led here.
Oh, shit.
That's where you're at.
So it doesn't make any. I don't want to go back to the dungeon.
And these guys will move forward 3 spaces.
That's big vibes from like Hunchback of Notre Dame. I'm free. Oh, shoot.
All right, back to Card. What are you doing? You're sinking. Gonna have to give you a strength check soon. Unless you want to get all the gold and shit out of your pockets.
Would I fare better if I dropped the Warhammer and kept the silver?
Probably.
Yeah, I'm going to drop the Warhammer.
Doors, it says as it sinks down. All right, give me a strength check to see how you're doing swimming with the silver. Because 300 pieces of silver is pretty fucking heavy.
It is, yeah. Can I use my last omen to lower the difficulty?
Yep.
All right. That is a 16 on the dice -1.
You scrabble through. You're able to swim as hard as you can. You're kicking with all the strength that you never even knew you possessed. At the last moment, you're about to grab the wall, and Poltroon is there. He has the audacity to cling to the spot of the wall that you're trying to cling to. He has the temerity to be in front of you. You grab him by the back of his vest, and you force him under the water. You kick off of his shoulders to launch yourself up to a ledge where your fingers dig onto it. And you, with the last ounce of your strength, pull yourself up onto this ledge. That's where we're going to stop for you. These guys move ahead 3 spaces. CJ.
This is a bad spot.
Yep.
So essentially, I have to get a 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I have to get a 4 or higher.
Face 2 berserkers.
Come on, chosen one. Chosen one. 5. Yes. Yes.
So you are able to look down this tunnel and see the 2 remaining berserkers looking worse for wear, coming steadily ever towards you. You're like, fuck that, I don't have time to stare. And you run past. You see Karg push Poltroon down to his death, swim past the wall where you can't see him anymore. He's gone underneath the wall and he's somewhere else now. Do you go in the water too?
I guess so. It's the only way through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have a water skin, a club, a sack, a silver crucifix, a heavy chain. Obviously, I'm not going to use that heavy chain. Dropping that shit. 82 silver, my apron, pickled eyeballs. If I drop my heavy chain, could I keep my mace?
Yeah.
I'm going to get rid of the silver crucifix because that doesn't make any sense anymore. And I'm clearly the chosen one. That other religion doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Okay. And now, what do I roll?
You're rolling strength to swim out.
I rolled a 21.
Porpoise-like, you dive into the black water. You feel the pull. You feel yourself being dragged towards the wall. And you swim. You give a couple good kicks. And it seems simple. It seems straightforward to you. You have the mace out in front of you. You find the opening in the low wall. You go through it and up. And you scrabble up the past Poltroon's corpse that's floating face down in the water. And you are in a disgusting shaft standing next to Karg, looking up at a grate about 4 feet up, and it fucking stinks here. It's like a rough rock wall covered in shit. You realize that this is essentially the inside of a latrine.
Gross.
Oh, hey, look, you made it.
Fancy seeing you here.
Well, I guess this makes us both the chosen ones, right?
No, it's just me. But finally, you're in the shit puddle that you deserve to be in.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Are we standing? Or
You're
are we still
standing
swimming?
now. Nope, you're standing now. And everything else at this point is academic. So you scramble up the walls, either, helping each other or not. You are able to lift the grate. You scramble out into an outhouse behind an inn, away from the festivities. You've escaped. You've made it out of this blood cult's lair in their clutches and are now free to move on into the woods and hopefully make your way to a city with less horrible people.
These words.
So Theris takes out the letter, and going through water and grime and everything, this letter is in bad shape. These words aren't worth much anymore, my friend.
Here, let me fix that. And I want to stab you.
See, I was going to hurt you.
Yeah, I know. I can read the room.
Can we roll against each other?
Yeah, do an agility check, each of you.
Oh, shit. My
All
agility
right.
isn't good.
My agility's great.
Oh, wait. Can I decrease his agility by 2 because I'm a rogue?
Yeah, because you have that. That's your class skill. Yeah.
All right. I got a 19.
I got a 3.
All right. So you're like, oh, yeah.
Chosen one.
So you can read this from a mile away. You've been around bad people before, Theris. You know when people are going to sucker punch you or stab you or try to attack you, and you're ready for it. Karg thinks they're slick. He goes to spin, but your mace is already in motion by the time he turns around. Describe how you kill old Kargi.
I'm going to bash that pretty face in. Seems like my MO.
Yep. Karg, your mask splits.
Revealing briefly a beautiful face.
Yeah,
with just a smallest scratch just under the cheekbone. And then your mace just smashes it to pieces.
Yep. Collapse. All your delicious blood goes back into the water.
I want the gem. Wait, do you still have the gem?
Yeah, I still have the gem and the bronze key. And in total, I have 439 silver. I have 2 doses of red poison, a whip, and I have my family's snakeskin knife that would have my family crest on the hilt.
If you want to go digging, 4 buttons.
Actually, 6 buttons, but you have to go extra deep for the other 2.
So you are so rich.
I guess so. I'm the fucking chosen one. Theris is the big bad now.
So then my question to you, Theris, you're out here, you've killed, you've scrambled out. Do you go out into the woods and make your way to wherever you're going to go? Or do you go back to the cult so they understand that you are the chosen one and their leader has arrived?
I go back to the cult.
Well,
actually, hold on. What does he do? Does he leave those losers behind? Or does he start his own cult? Because, darn, I didn't think of that. I thought if you brought that up, I think he would have gone back in and he would have been like, I'm your leader now. But he's past that. So I think he would start his own cult.
Somewhere else, or do you mean here, like using them as a...
Somewhere else.
Okay. So I like that image of like you looking at your mace, looking back towards the cult activity. And they're in a frenzy of activity right now. They've gone into the thing to see where you guys are at and why it's taking so long to bring out the sacrifices, and you are not there. So they're freaking out. A bomb went off. They probably heard that. And you kind of, you look back to the woods, you heft your mace, and you walk off into the night secure and safe and wealthier than you've ever been in your entire life. And that is how you play Mörk Borg.
Nice.
Yep. Love it.
I had my doubts about the system when I was reading it, because I'm like, it seems either too simple, but not simple in the way a lot of OSR games are, where they just stick with the normal 6 stats. It's a D20 based game. Everything's pretty much just like it is in BX D&D. This is really different, but still has that exact same vibe. It gets out of its own way. I could say the bare bones edition of the rules is far superior in terms of readability and usability than the actual graphic design explosion that is in the core book.
Yeah, I'd concur with that.
Yeah, if I was going to introduce this to new players, it would be through the bare bones edition. The regular, it's a beautiful book, but it's an art book. It's like a coffee table thing to have to look at.
Yeah, I'd agree. I really liked. I randomly generated my character, but I did like. There's a bit of a story beat there, and the extra things I got for my class were pretty straightforward. They were actually pretty fun. I really liked having Poltroon. Aside from having all of the fun clown stuff, I thought it was a very interesting mechanic to have, is just to have, my jester's there, and he's, the way it's kind of written is that Poltroon's capering actually makes enemies lose their focus in combat. So, it didn't have to be the way that, I played it off with stupid jokes. He could just be there, just roasting them the entire fight, which would have been fun too. But then I also really liked the snakeskin gift as well. I thought that kind of built this own mythology of coming from, a royal bloodline or noble bloodline, and having this heirloom that, it's normally kept in the sandalwood box, wrapped in cloth, and, and it has this very special effect to it that I really enjoyed almost as much as Poltroon. But yeah, I really liked that. The abilities, I think, would probably be the weakest point here for me, because you have strength, agility, presence, and toughness. And I do separating out strength and toughness, but presence, I feel covers a lot of things that agility would cover in other games. And if you just pick this up and didn't read the rule book, I think that would definitely, I don't know, I think that could trip you up.
Yeah, absolutely. Presence it feels overpowered.
It does, yeah.
Maybe that was my misinterpretation of how to use it.
Well, I mean, what is agility supposed to be used for?
Defending, balancing, swimming, fleeing. Presence is perception, aiming, charming, and using magic.
Yeah, that feels really overloaded.
Right. And then toughness is resisting poison, cold, and heat, and surviving falling. That feels the weakest of them all.
Right, which, I mean, and having, I also did a randomly generated character, so this is partly on me, but my ability scores were strength and presence at 0, agility at -1, and toughness at 3.
Right.
I never rolled a toughness roll in the 3-ish hours that we played.
I don't think anybody rolled one, did we? Yeah.
I mean, it's really valuable in that it helps your HP, but I'm surprised, and maybe this isn't the rule itself, it's not Mörk Borg, but maybe the adventure specifically. It seems like toughness would come up a lot with all the poisons and mushrooms and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It should be you take your dose of the red powder and you do a toughness roll to see how it hits you. Or you're in the spore area? Yeah, that's a toughness roll.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think I'd be interested to go through and do the character creation more organically and actually go through and pick stuff and build a character more with more thought behind it, because my stuff was cool, but I also think I ran into the spots where I tried casting my witchcraft thing once, it failed, and then I literally never got to cast it a second time because it was an hour that I couldn't cast. So I was oh cool, well that's gone.
That's brutal.
And and great, part of this, that's the theme of the game, right? It's not forgiving, it's unforgiving, it is, harsh. So my list of little potions that I made for the day, I had 2 things that did similar things with healing, but I had other stuff where I had one where I could have seen in total darkness and climbed on the walls. I had another one where people start vomiting or people start having hallucinations, but I didn't roll those at the beginning of the day. So I kind of just ended up being very ineffective. Because I had no stats that were useful.
How about the adventure itself? How did you feel about that? Not how I ran it, just how it.
Well, that's good, because I would have said you ran it like shit.
Oh, I know I did. Yeah.
No, I think it was actually for me, it was a good intro into Mörk Borg. It was a good, this is the world, it's shitty, everything is disgusting. I had fun with it.
Yeah. I feel it made it easy to lean into the gross goriness of it all. Blood explosions and corpses and people tearing out their eyes and stuff. And the monsters were pretty evocative, creepy flesh, fruit, and the berserkers and all that. One thing I did not care for, the map of the adventure.
It's very abstract.
Yeah, it's like a golden ratio circle in black with white fields, and then there's these red lines going to different things that label what they are, and the labels are on the outside of the circle. And it's another issue that I keep finding with Mörk Borg, where function is not a consideration, where if form is at play. Like, it has to be beautiful. It has to be different. And like, is it a functional map? Yeah, if you take the time to really dig into it and play with it. But saying like, okay, what leads to what? It's not clear. And I don't know if it's my visual issues, but this is a slog to read.
Yeah, so to give a little peek behind the curtain, if it's okay, Nate showed us this map before the session. I took one look at it and was like, we'll figure it out when we play.
Yeah. Like, this will not be a good hint for any of you because like, I remember that one nondescript black line leading off to the left. Like, fuck off. Like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It just, I don't know. And this could just be, akin back to my days as, a middle school student looking at that really cool map of, all the features in science, the one I'm talking about that has like the lagoon. Yeah, I'd look at that for hours because, I could just imagine automatically all the kinds of adventures we could get up to in that.
Yeah.
And this feels like the very like opposite end of that spectrum.
It feels very Scandinavian in terms of like total minimalistic. This is an IKEA map, but see on this, it says the whole, right? And you see that triangle that's at the.
Is that where we started?
Yeah. The triangle moves based on where you are, where the players are.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Nowhere is that described in this adventure. You just have to pick that up. I did not pick that up until I showed the map to my wife, and she was like, oh, yeah, I think the triangle points to where you're supposed to be, because she is vastly smarter than I am. I married well. I couldn't have told that shit. I'm like, I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, good job, babe. You cracked the code. And then each other room has a map drawn on the bottom from like a side view, and it's just black and red.
Oh.
Negative space is white. It's the worst. It doesn't show really where anything is in relation to itself or any depth to the room at all. It's not a top-down. It's not isometric. It's a 2D side-scroller map describing a 3-dimensional room.
Yeah, it feels like it's being different for the sake of being different.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this adventure in terms of the content of it.
Yeah, the content was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The art direction, I like what they're going for. I think it's neat. It's not something I've seen before. In terms of functional use, I did not care for it.
I also wonder, looking at it, like if it were in, like, I don't know, if it were printed and like if that might make a difference. Like some of these like things at the bottom of the pages where it's like the map of the room.
Yeah.
Because it looks like it all flows into one thing because it's 2 pages on one page a little bit.
Right. Like if I had it saddle stapled and printed out,
yeah.
It would look.
Like, would it look a little bit different, or would your brain process it a little bit differently?
Could be. And then it gave stuff like the berserkers each have their own names and do different things.
Well, that's neat.
Like this one's the leader, and this one does this stuff, and this one has this kind of weapon. I like the flavor of it. It didn't come up, and I don't think I would bother to ever use that, but it's nice to have it. In case you're like, what is this person's name? I'm like, oh, that's obviously Jid, the unholy poker of death. And then one thing I didn't use and I wish I had, there were temple events that I could roll on every time you entered a room. That would make some random weird thing happen.
I think that would have added a lot of flavor to it. But
yeah,
like, also we were doing this as kind of a one shot, and I felt like if we were doing it as a 2-shot, that would have worked better.
Yeah, I wanted to get it done in one night because my life is dope and I do dope things. I don't have time. But yeah, if we could have taken more time with it and let it breathe a little bit, that probably would have helped.
Yeah.
But we got through it all in 3.5 hours of actual recording time.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. And I also enjoyed like having permission, so to speak, to play a character that was really dickish.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Like if you survive in this
fun.
world, it's because you're a bad person. Like good people have already died off.
Right, yeah.
The first plague hit and they went away. But yeah.
Except Poltoon. Poltoon was an angel that's just gone too soon.
R.I.P. in peace. But Mörk Borg, I give a thumbs up with qualification that I wouldn't want to play a long campaign of it because it was way too grim. And I don't want to be depressed all the time. Life is sad enough as it is. System is great. This reminds me in a way of the problem I had with Shadow of the Demon Lord, where the system's incredible, the game is incredible. It's so fucking bleak that I just need to like go watch a cartoon after.
Yeah, I think we said this during one of our breaks. I don't know if it'll make it into the episode until now, But one thing I did say that, like, if I was going to run this as a long form campaign, I think just for my mental health, I would start running it as like, these prophecies that this basilisk has given are starting to be like objectively wrong.
Mm.
So, I mean, the believers could see where it's right, but, maybe your party is starting to see the cracks in it.
Yeah.
And, maybe the world isn't as bad as it looks. And then, at the end of it, like society has to deal with, kind of how they dealt with their own deaths before they happened.
Mm.
But that's just kind of the direction I would take things. But that's, has to go with my sense of humor in the world.
No, I get that. Like with Demon Lord, they came out with Shadow of the Weird Wizard, which is like the higher fantasy version that's not all evil and horrible and sad all the time.
Oh.
If they made like a little bit lightened up version of Mörk Borg, the system is fun. I like the system. It's wicked flavorful, but yeah, it's and as far as the adventure goes, love the adventure. It needed a little bit of spit and polish, but then again, so do I. So
yeah, that's true. I mean,
qualified thumbs up. Well, thank you all for being here and helping me out on this.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Before I let you go for the night, because it's super duper late, Eric, is there anything you want to promote?
Yeah, you should come listen to my podcast. It's called the Queer XP. We are an actual play podcast. We just wrapped up season 2, mostly indie one shots with some panel chat interviews every once in a while. And then keep eyes open for season 3, which will be dropping in September. We'll be running Moonlight on Roseville Beach as a mini campaign for the month of September, followed by some cool stuff in October, including a playtest of a new Evil Hat game called Abyssal, which I'm super pumped about because we have one of the game designers who's going to run it for us. So, and you can find us on all socials at the Queer XP.
Hell yeah. Mr. Ray, tell us about $2 Creature Feature, if you would be so kind.
Yeah, $2 Creature Feature is an actual play Monster of the Week podcast. We got started in the first year of the pandemic. We're in our 3rd season now. Each season is a different setting. Our first season was set in a carnival in the 60s. So, they're traveling around hunting monsters. The second season kind of takes it into this small Chesapeake Bay city where, a monster has made its presence known and our hunters are trying to figure out what's going on. There's a lot of personal drama and conflict in that one. And then season 3, I kind of took one of the big tenets of Monster of the Week, which is magic, and threw it out of the system and just kind of, wow. I'm running it as like a X-Files-y Fringe kind of game. And it's made for a lot of fun and unique storytelling. So check us out.
Kick ass. And CJ, what are you doing with your life? Where's your podcast?
Oh, yeah. I don't have a podcast, but I am going to be the new Richard, right?
Yeah. Right? Take that, Richard.
Hey, I'm Richard now. No, I don't know.
We're going to be trying to work together to be at something on the cast. I hope we can figure it out because I'm really excited about this potential future project.
Yeah, we're working on something. I'm very excited for that. Hopefully it does work out.
Fingers crossed. And that's all for this month's episode. I considered breaking this episode into 2 parts, but since we're releasing once a month, you get a little extra long episode this time around, with a little bonus review at the end. That's always fun. You should 100% follow the link in the show notes to go see Hex Hodge's itch.io page. This is the only adventure that they've released so far, and for a first release, incredible. I was harsh on the art design in terms of its functionality, but aesthetically it's evocative, and the writing is top-notch. I said earlier, qualified thumbs up. That was because I was sleepy and cranky. Unqualified thumbs up. Go grab this. Awesome to support an up-and-coming designer, and I wanted to see what else they come out with. And while you're feeling generous, why don't you head over to patreon.com/potofblunders and see what we have to offer there. Sign up at any of the levels. We're wrapping up our Street Sharks podcast now, Richard and I, and there'll be a new amazing thing coming out very soon for our patrons. And beyond that, we have our Discord server that's hopping. It's a hopping place full of weirdos, and if you're listening to this, I'm sure you'd fit in. So follow the link for that as well. Oh, and also, head over to potofblunders.com for a whole bunch more nerdy shit. We've got game reviews, we've got stuff to help out your fantasy role-playing game campaigns, little tables you can roll on, monsters, all kinds of cool stuff. And lastly, thank you so much to our patrons. You folks help us create this podcast every month, and without you, it would be a sad time had by me. I really appreciate your support. I really appreciate your continued efforts to spread the word about us. So thank you. For the Pot of Blunders, I've been Nate Magnuski, and as always, may all your Ds be 12s. And now, for all the ums I cut out of this episode, enjoy.
The
He